Did I stutter?
He has time, launches it to the end zone. Touchdown! Terrence Williams!
But they are who we thought they were, and we let them off the hook.
The 2011 winner of the Heisman Trophy is Robert Griffin III, RG3!
Welcome to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio.
Langoliers, base hit to center, and the Baylor Bears win their first Big 12 tournament championship.
Their fat little girlfriends are telling them what they want to hear, which is how great you are.
I'm a man. I'm 40.
Call us on the Impact Health Labs caller line at 254-339-1122.
Hello? You play to win the game.
Yep, just ready for OU.
You can't handle the truth.
Here's Drake Toll.
It's gone. Colt Barber's in studio today with us, though. Colt, will you hand me my little table bell that always brings in the show? We can only do it one way. Oh, I can. Here we go. Oh, yeah. No.
Here we go.
That's how we do it on Up Tempo. Here we go.
Hands.
Welcome to Up Tempo. It is Jersey Thursday, otherwise just known as Jersey or Thursday, however you'd like to put it.
Yeah.
I am Lake C. Strunk. That is Robert Griffin III. Armstrong Sims is still our producer, although the hosts have changed. And it's a big day today. The Lady Bears are back in action. How about it?
Love it. How about these jerseys sponsored by the one and only Colt Barber?
Colt Barber, our boss is here.
How about it, man?
Our boss is here. I was not going to tell the viewers at home, but I wore house shoes today on Up Tempo just because it felt like the thing to do today for Thursday. It's like getting a little warmer outside, and I thought, no harm, no foul. I walk in, and the man that signs our checks is here, and I am in house shoes.
Getting ready to rock.
This may be my last day on Up Tempo. Thank you all for joining us along this ride. Speaking of Up Tempo and rides,
people are
going to
think you're serious
because of Colt. Hopefully Colt would never. But I'll tell you this: it is the 1 month anniversary of Up Tempo today. Yeah. 1 month going strong on this show here. Myself, Drake Toll, J.D. Pickell, Armstrong Sims, the plethora of interns that we've had.
Yep.
If only. We should do a power ranking of like the 7 interns that have come, spent 48 hours, and gone.
Longevity is not necessarily a strong suit for interns right now. Andrew Robertson, though, is still killing it remotely for us with keeping up with Sick 'em Pick 'em, and I think he's in the studio now and then. He's still on board, isn't he? Is Andrew Robertson still on board?
I think Andrew's still here.
Andrew's still on board.
He's like still under contract.
The only intern that has stuck around.
Here we go, Andrew.
A month in.
Survival of the fittest, baby.
Interns are here for a good time, not a long time.
Not a long time.
And then after they do enough work, they realize that they're not having a good time, so they're here for no time.
Time flies when you're working hard at Up Tempo, I guess.
I can't. I'm entranced on Armstrong right now as we're having the intern conversation. But hey, look. That just shows that we are preparing for someone who's BU ilk different. Armstrong told me he was going to wear his USA Hockey jersey today, which I don't know why he has one. You would have to ask Armstrong.
Of course.
You really have one?
How do you not have one? Yeah, of course I have one.
Really? I didn't know that.
How do you not have one? I'm Mike Ruzioni, baby.
Mike Ruzioni, where's he from?
I play for
Where's he from?
United States of America.
He plays for my United States of America.
Yeah,
That's all that
but
matters.
where's he from?
No, that's all that matters. It doesn't matter.
Winthrop, Massachusetts.
Is that where he's from?
Almanac.
No way.
Almanac. I went there.
Almanac, Massachusetts?
You went to Winthrop?
No, I went to Winthrop. You know what's close to?
Boston?
Yeah, that's a good call. Very well done.
Is it actually?
Yeah, it is. It is a suburb of Boston. Not only that, though, it's kind of close to Salem, Massachusetts. Did you know? Fun fact of the day today, since we're doing take 3 this afternoon, or I guess later in the show. Fun fact of the day today is that the Salem witch trials.
Right.
I'm leaving you in suspense.
Right.
The Salem witch trials, they never burned a single person. Did you know that? Yeah.
Dead or alive?
I think I did know
Like
that, yeah.
15 of them died in prison, 11 of them died from hanging, and then one guy, one male, 81 years old, died from being crushed by rocks.
No.
Because he was like, hey, you guys should stop killing these people. And they were like, no, we're not going to. We're going to kill you. And he was like, all right, do it. And so they crushed him with rocks. They put platforms, and they just added more rocks. But they never burned anybody at the Salem witch trials.
What a way to go. I kind of feel cheated. I kind of feel like I got
Did you know that George
history.
Washington never cut down a cherry tree?
Yeah, of course I knew that.
Yes.
I didn't know that.
You didn't know that?
I had no idea.
Did you know that he did?
I was bought into that. I
Were
was
you
all
taught
in.
growing up that he
still
was?
believing
They just
that.
made it up to teach children.
But what a
to have
crap
good-
story.
to tell the truth.
In his whole life, he never cut down a cherry tree.
I don't know about that.
I'm just saying.
But he didn't specifically cut
But
down
whose
his
idea
father's-
was that?
His father's prized cherry tree.
Oh, Kyle, we're home from vacation for the weekend. Oh, God. The 105th tree in our front yard has been chopped down. Yeah, Mom, that was me.
The championship game, Alex.
It's okay, Kyle, because you were honest.
What are you talking about?
I am comparing the George Washington story to it. I'm making it modern day.
Got it.
And it's an atrocity. Whose idea was that? At least
that's
he was
bad.
honest.
That's bad history.
That is.
Didn't Abraham Lincoln?
It makes sense to me.
Is
It
it-
makes sense to me why it was made up.
Is it Abe Lincoln who has the quote about sharpening his axe? If you gave him 4 hours to cut down the cherry or cut down a tree, he'd spend the first hour sharpening his axe. Something like that. There's another quote from
That's
a
a
president.
good quote.
Did he actually say it, though?
I don't know. See, apparently
knows?
all of history
We're talking
is
about
just
history
like,
debunked right now.
true or not.
And while we're talking about history debunked, we should be talking about that, which we will talk about, the Lady Bears who play tonight against Kansas. That is in the Farrell Center. Are you gonna go?
Dude, I haven't been in the Farrell Center since since Baylor played Kansas, and it was the biggest game in Farrell Center
Game
history.
day? Really?
Yeah, that's the last time I was there.
What's going on? You all right?
I'm all right, man. I just haven't. Well, one, I guess COVID hit, so that stopped the season. Two,
True.
it's pretty limited capacity right now, and I don't have the clearance for
Like
that.
the asbestos in
I
the
don't
ceiling?
have the access. The asbestos. It's the asbestos. That's what did it.
In the Farrell Center, which we gotta look. You need to go to the Farrell Center as much as you can because it won't be there forever.
Yeah.
The Farrell Center is going away sooner than later.
Yeah. Pharrell.
Tonight, though, Baylor women's basketball 12-2. They are the number 8 team in the land in the AP and the coaches poll. They play against Kansas tonight. Kansas comes in at 6-8, 2-5 in the Big 12. Baylor's averaging 85.5 points per game compared to Kansas's 72. Tell me, is that good?
Oh, that's good. And we can say it now, right?
Is that good for Kansas, though?
Oh, for Kansas? Oh, no. Sorry. I meant about Baylor. I was like, yeah, it's great. I was going to say they're going to win out, right? Like, they're going to run the table the rest of the way.
Yeah, I think so. You got 2 games against Texas you gotta vie with, but I think Baylor could definitely win out. It's possible.
I think they've hit their stride. They exercised the demons against Iowa State. Like, I think Baylor's probably feeling as good as they can. Getting over the hump against Iowa State was huge. Absolutely huge.
All right, let's talk about this, too. Today, I got some flack on Twitter last night. When don't I? You know, I like the hot takes on Twitter. I got some flack on Twitter for saying that Jared Butler would not win the Player of the Year, Naismith Player of the Year. Here's the deal. We have to be objective journalists sometimes.
Yeah.
And not be just solely Baylor faithful as we sit in our Lake C. Strunk and RG3 jerseys.
Right.
But how can you make a case? Is there a case that says Jared Butler will win the Naismith Player of the Year trophy over Luka Garza? Read me Jared Butler's
That's so
stats.
tough because I love Jared Butler.
You can't just look at the stats.
Jared Butler.
Well, then what do you look
but
at?
I think it's hard to look past
The
these
player.
stats. Yeah, you look at the player. but
You
it's-
watched the player.
I know, but
obviously.
the stats aren't that comparable.
Have you
Like,
watched
it's-
Luka Garza?
Luka Garza's
Yeah, of
averaging
course.
27 a game. Jared Butler's averaging 17.
Yeah.
And I get that stats don't mean everything, but when
No,
the
they don't
stats,
at all.
when there's that much disparity between the two, it's really hard for me to be like Jared Butler should be Player of the Year. I think he's great. I think he's the most valuable player in the Big 12, probably the most valuable player for sure for Baylor. But I mean, Baylor doesn't ask Jared Butler to go score 27 a game.
Exactly.
If Luka Garza's not scoring 26 a game, then Iowa's not even remotely competitive.
True.
In my mind, you're making the case for Jared Butler right now.
How so?
Okay. Let me put it like this. Take Jared Butler away from Baylor, and Baylor still is a Sweet 16 team.
Yes.
Maybe Elite
For
Eight.
sure.
We've seen
Take
that.
Luka
We've seen
Garza
that.
away from Iowa, they're maybe a round of 32 team.
Yeah, exactly. That's an argument for Jared Butler in my
You
opinion.
think so? Why?
Because Jared Butler has a bunch of other weapons on his team. His team isn't just dishing the ball to him and he's taking over the game every game or else they don't win. That's why his stat line is lower than Luka Garza.
Not bad. Yeah.
Jared Butler had no one else on his team like Luka Garza does. I mean, I think he'd be 30 a night.
Yeah, I mean, he probably could be. Like, no one's saying Jared Butler
But Luka
couldn't
Garza
do
has
that.
size, man. Luka Garza's got insane size. 6'11", 265, averaging effectively an assist a half and 26 and a half, 27 points. That's stupid. Those numbers are stupid. How do you not give him Player of the Year? And his team's good. It's not like his team's bad.
And they're good because of him. They're good because of him. I mean, he's a big. Like,
yeah, he's a big. He doesn't
he's a
he doesn't
big.
need
I
ton
think
of
he
assists.
gets probably some credit for that. But yeah, I mean, it's tough because if Jared Butler was asked to do more, he probably could. But nobody that has a vote is saying we're going to give Jared Butler the benefit of the doubt because he has Davion Mitchell, because he has Mark Vidal, because he has Matthew Meyer coming off the bench. Like, these are all things that are probably going to help Jared Butler play longer in March. But it's not going to.
I don't think that's the
Naismith.
benefit of the doubt. That's just analyzing what you see on the court.
I don't think anyone's going to look that deep when you see 10 points more game.
Well, then
Unfortunately.
that's
What's more impressive? Jared Butler's 2.5 steals per game or Luka Garza's almost 2 blocks per game? I mean, they say the guy can't play defense. I keep hearing people say, oh, yeah, it should be Jared Butler because Luka Garza can't play defense. And the man's averaging 1.7 blocks per game, a half a steal per game. He's fouling. He's got less than 3 fouls per game this year, which for a big man is pretty darn good.
Yeah, like he is Iowa. Without Luka Garza, Iowa's nowhere. But so I think it's hard to say Jared Butler should get more credit because his team's good. Like, I think it's hard to say he could do this when he hasn't done it, right? Like, he hasn't put the same numbers up that Luka Garza has.
If you had to make a case for Jared Butler, though, I think Armstrong's going to help us with this one because it sounds like Armstrong's pretty passionate about it.
Yeah.
Reserve Louisiana, 6'3", 195 junior Jared Butler. What is your case that says Jared Butler is the National Player of the Year?
me.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you seem passionate about it. I like to get your take. I think you better. I think you bring something good to the
You're
table.
smart.
Well, I think you can't divorce the player from the team.
Okay.
And that's what y'all are doing. You're just simply looking at how does the player exist as if he exists in a vacuum. Players don't exist in vacuums. They have teams around them. And Jared Butler is an extremely selfless player who plays on a just absolutely stacked team that has 4 incredible guards. And that accounts, I think, for his lack of stats.
It's hard for me to not divorce him from the team when it is a strictly individual award. Like, Baylor will make a deeper run than Iowa if everything goes their way. Like, if all things being equal, Baylor's probably going to make a deeper run than Iowa in the tournament. And that'll be Baylor's reward. That'll be what Jared Butler cares about more, obviously.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, it's hard for me not to be so individualistic.
It is an
if it's
individual player.
award, you know?
Right.
It's not the
It's
Heisman
an individual
Trophy.
award.
It's not the Heisman Trophy.
The Heisman Trophy goes to the best player on the best team, typically. But the Naismith Award, look at, didn't Trae Young win the Naismith?
Did he? I'm
Did
not
Trae
sure.
Young end
I'll
up winning the
I'll
Naismith?
have to fact check that. I'm not
I
sure.
don't think so.
I would hope not.
He's probably considered for it. He was up for it for sure. He was averaging what, like 30 plus a game. Guy was unbelievable. Oklahoma was pretty average. I think Ben Simmons was even up for the Naismith at a certain point, and LSU missed the tournament.
Yeah. Also, Ben Simmons was not. I don't know if he played very much in his college career. Did he?
No. I think he was like considered though, wasn't he? Wasn't he at least like in the conversation for a minute?
Maybe. I could see it. I just look at the history of the players. The last few. So Obi Toppin, obviously Zion, Jalen Brunson, Dayton. What did Dayton do last year?
Yeah, see, I don't even know. I have no idea.
Right.
No
I mean,
idea.
it doesn't go to the best player on the best team. I just don't. I mean, what is the case
No,
to
for
say?
sure doesn't, obviously.
Jared Butler, from a statistic standpoint, bam. Look at it. Like, you compare stats. offensively, defensively. Maybe Jared Butler's the better defensive player. I would agree with that. I like that take. But Luka Garza is not necessarily an awful defender.
Yeah.
He can be the best offensive player in the country, which I would say he is at 28 points or 27 points per game, and then 9 rebounds per game. And then maybe his defense is just average.
Look, don't get me wrong. I agree with you. I think Luka Garza is the best player in college basketball right now and should win that award. But I take issue with y'all just yelling stats. Just stats. It's not just stats. It shouldn't be just stats. And maybe has become just stats, and that's a problem. That's what I'm saying.
I like it. This on the text line says Jared is more well-rounded, better D. Look at what John Gassaway said. I think John is one of the writers that put in by the Numbears had tweeted something along the lines of, "Hey, Jared Butler should be national player or could be national player of the year." In the end of this, I think Jared Butler he's better rounded. He is well-rounded, even more so than Luka Garza. That said, I don't know if you could strip Luka Garza of that award strictly looking at what has been done on the court.
And awards are tricky. Like Jared Butler, in my opinion, will have a longer, better career in the NBA than Luka Garza. But for the sake of this award, probably going to be Luka Garza based on his statistics and what he means to Iowa and what they ask him to do night in and night out. Because when you look at the numbers, because they definitely look at the numbers when it comes to the Naismith Award. Like they're definitely going to sit down and say, okay, what have they done stat-wise? Like they're going to look at that and see that he has 10 more points a game and be like, Jared Butler, awesome player. He'll make a lot of money in the NBA. So will Luka Garza, but I think Jared Butler will be around longer. And I agree, more well-rounded, more complete basketball player. Naismith's tough.
Frank Kaminsky won the award in 2015. Remember who was really good that 2015 year? Kentucky. That whole Kentucky team was unflippin' believable. I think Kentucky had probably three players better than Frank Kaminsky. But the fact that they played together is why Frank Kaminsky won the award. That may be the same case for Jared Butler this year, where take away Davion Mitchell, and Jared Butler has, 5-6 more points per game.
At least 20.
Has 2 or 3 more assists per game. And not only that, he is the leader in assists in the Big 12 by a wide margin, if not for Davion Mitchell. But Davion Mitchell still plays for Baylor. You know, it's a hypothetical world where maybe if Jared Butler has one less guard, maybe he's down to Maceo Teague and has to take over more. Jared Butler, we have seen, he can take over a game.
Oh, for sure.
It's not that he is incapable of catching the basketball and nailing everything he needs to nail for Baylor to win.
Yeah, when it's winning time, Jared Butler's your guy. Like, he's still the guy who's taking the last shot. When things are in crunch time, Jared Butler's your guy. You're going to consistently.
In 2015, sorry, I don't mean to go back to this.
No, you're great.
But in 2015 with Frank Kaminsky, that was the year Duke won.
Yeah.
And Wisconsin beat Kentucky in the Final Four. Okay, I was just clarifying.
Yeah. I would say, but Kentucky was the best team in college basketball that season, in my opinion. I mean, Duke wins it, but there are years where the best team in college basketball does not win the national championship. Would you agree with that?
Oh, absolutely.
Right.
What Roy Williams has said, like, to win a national championship in basketball, you have to be really good, but it also takes an insane amount of luck.
Yeah. You need to I think there was even bets that year, like Kentucky versus the field. Like Kentucky was just the Monstars that year. And ended up getting beat, I think, in the Final Four by Wisconsin.
Yeah, by Wisconsin. Kaminsky went 38-1 that season.
Yeah. Just get hot at the right time. That's why we're like, hey, should Baylor lose before the tournament?
That's a comparison you can look at. But Frank Kaminsky, man, that season, I think Kentucky still got 2 or 3 players better than him, but he wins it because it's not a team award, it's an individual award. So I agree with you. I think that goes along with your take. We got Steven from Virginia on the Impact Health Labs call line. Steven from Virginia, you're on with Up Tempo.
Hey, guys, I love those jerseys.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve.
Courtesy of Colt Barber, sponsored by Colt Barber.
So I do want to say, before I say this, I want to start off and say that Luka Garza should be the National Player of the Year. Right now where it stands, he's shooting almost 60% from the field, and that's ridiculous in itself. But I'd like to make a case for Jared Butler because I would like to start with the fact that he is the best player on the best team. And I'd also like to say that Jared Butler has shot 33% or better from three-point land in 14 of 17 games. He is consistent. His numbers may not be as good as Luka Garza, but I really think that we're on a crash course for a game of the century where Gonzaga and Baylor line up in the national championship game, a true 1-2, without either having lost a game. If that happens, history needs to remember this as a USC-Texas game of the century like that Rose Bowl was. And if that's the case, then the players of the year should be littered with Gonzaga and Baylor players, and because history needs to remember how great these teams were, and history needs to give them credit, because I don't think you can take away from these teams and say, well, they did it during COVID. Doing it during COVID makes it even more impressive. The cream rose to the top in this college basketball season. The great teams were great because of their discipline, their maturity, their togetherness, their ability to make the basketball work. And that's why Gonzaga and Baylor are where they are. Baylor especially. Baylor is older than the Chicago Bulls. So if I think we get to a point, and I know voting stops at a certain point, but if we look at this realistically and say, we could get Gonzaga, Baylor, each undefeated for the national title, this is an all-time historic season. And Luke Garza is just going to be a footnote. You're going to say, well, he was the leading scorer, or he scored the most points in the country. And Luke Garza is a great player. He's a 4-year player. He's the whole eye of the Iowa team. But I really got to say, history has to remember how great these teams were. I really will be on that cause.
Who's to say if Gonzaga and Baylor play earlier in the year, that game doesn't get canceled? Jared Butler goes for about 30. I don't know if it makes him the player of the year, but it has to move the needle a little bit. Would you agree?
I would think so. And I think, we want that game to be rescheduled so bad, and we wish we had gotten that game. And, I feel like it's something like, how Charlie Brewer's relatives all played quarterback for Texas. It's just become something that they're going to bring up on every broadcast now. And at this point, all that we really have is that we're going to get in an NCAA tournament with a true 1 and 2 seed, so that when these teams beat the teams that they should, they face each other. And so we get the question. And I really think whichever team wins this national championship this year, I think that team is the greatest team of all time.
Steven,
or at least the greatest team since Indiana went undefeated in 76.
Let me ask you this. If Baylor loses to Gonzaga in the national championship game, how disappointed would you be?
I think I'm a more realistic person than I used to be. I think I would be really upset for about an hour. But I've got to be honest, if Baylor made it all the way to the national championship game, I've been a Baylor basketball fan for a long time. I told Ashley Hodge, I've been a Baylor basketball fan long enough to remember when I was excited that Pat Dennehy was transferring from New Mexico. So, on a realistic standpoint, if they made it all the way to the national championship game and lost, I think everybody would come back again and do it again. And I think that next year would be just as exciting.
You think Jared Butler would come back?
I love every single moment of it.
You think Jared Butler would come back if Baylor loses the title?
I think if Jared Butler's doesn't get if I was Jared Butler and they told me that even though I was by far the best player in college basketball, that I was not going to be drafted in the top 20, I would come back to win a national championship. That's kind of where he and Maceo found themselves last year, is that they were probably going to be picked, but it wasn't going to be very high. And if that's the case, it's a lot more, you get a lot more publicity, it's a lot more fun to be on the number 1 basketball team in America than it is to be playing for the Sioux Falls, whatever they are, or to be playing in the G League. I think it's a lot more fun to be playing at Baylor at Farrell Center.
Maybe
come back next year.
Maybe for a couple of these guys.
Full stadium.
For a couple of these guys, maybe, but Jared Butler's gone, and Davion Mitchell's gone. We're watching their last stretch of Big 12 play as we speak.
There's a 0% chance Jared Butler comes back, in my opinion. I hope I'm wrong. I'd love to see him play again.
There's really? A small percent.
Really?
More than 0?
More than 0.
0 is pretty low. 0 is about as low as it gets.
Yeah,
but
that's true. Steven, Bear games?
I'd love some Bear games.
Well, this question today comes from my incompetence And that is the fact that I left my clothes, my laundry in the washing machine overnight. So as I researched this to find out if my clothes were ruined, I found out there's a huge rift on the internet of people that leave their laundry in the washer overnight. I'm not one of those people,
okay.
but I am now.
Sure.
Steven, how long do you leave your clothes in the washer post-wash?
So when I'm doing laundry, I have a pretty good system. I set out like a time in the week, and I get all my laundry done at that point, because if you leave your laundry in the washing machine wet for too long,
Mildew.
it will smell.
Yep.
And then...
So I have always done it on a routine basis.
So, second question here. What is the worst movie of all time?
The worst movie of all time. Have y'all ever seen that movie, Mr. Magoo?
No. Oh, I like the shop where he has the toy shop?
Mr. Magoo was like a cartoon about this dude who's pretty much blind and gets into all these kind of tricky situations, but never knows he's in them because he can't see. And Disney made a movie with like Leslie Nielsen, and I thought it was really great when I was like 6 years old, but I turned it on a while ago, and that is the worst movie I have ever seen.
Wow.
So apologies to Leslie Nielsen.
Because it's made for children. Wow. All right, thanks for your call, Steven.
Later, guys.
See you, Steve.
I got it NBA on ESPN. Per ESPN, 2021 NBA mock draft pulled up here.
Yeah, I was looking for that.
Who is the number one pick in the 2021 NBA mock draft, you think, per ESPN? It's crazy.
Is it Cade Cunningham?
I would. My guess would be Cade Cunningham too, or someone you've never heard of.
It's Cade Cunningham.
Really?
It is Cade Cunningham.
No kidding.
I have not been that impressed.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get to see him up close against Baylor, which was what I was really excited to see, which was going to make the real metric for me of how legit is Cade Cunningham. But
yeah. There's not a single player. I am older than every single one of these players until pick number 10.
That's the worst.
Gosh, time flies when you're getting older. That's kind of insane.
It's pretty whack.
There's not a single player in the first round that's older than you.
I now have how about that? Why am I not in the NBA? Because I'm 5'11" and can't shoot. But I actually have a rule now where I don't wear a jersey of someone that's younger than me. That's my new rule of thumb. And it's a pretty dark rule because it's getting harder and harder to find those jerseys.
It's dark.
Yikes.
It's not cool.
You got Cade Cunningham at 1, Evan Mobley from USC, then Jalen Green from the G League Ignite.
Yeah. The whole internship thing they're doing now.
Yeah,
like you get New Balance intern.
Jalen Suggs of Gonzaga is a top 5 pick here. Jalen Johnson of Duke, Keon Johnson of Tennessee, top 10. Sharif Cooper is at 9.
Wow.
Corey Kispert of Gonzaga is at 10. 2 Gonzaga players in the top 10. Where would you guess we find our first Baylor player?
I'm going to say Jared Butler's 17.
17, Jared Butler.
22.
Jared Butler, 22.
Jared Butler at 22.
Where would you say you find your second Baylor Bear?
Davion Mitchell. What do you think? Second round? I'm going to say second round, pick 36.
36?
Yeah, second round. I don't know.
Maybe even
specific
later than
picks. I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm gonna say 42 actually. 42, Davion Mitchell.
It is pick number 30 where we find our first 29. I'm sorry, 29 where we find our first Baylor Bear.
Dang,
Davion Mitchell.
Really?
To the LA Clippers.
Really? He's the first Baylor Bear.
Yeah. What? Pick 29.
Where's Jared Butler?
Pick number 30 is where we find our second Baylor Bear. Right behind him, Jared Butler to the Los Angeles Lakers.
That'd be crazy. That'd be awesome. LeBron
Jared
featuring
Butler,
Jared Butler would be
that
a
would
good
be
duo.
Insane.
He has to. Okay, so if Baylor wins the Natty, they both have to skyrocket, right?
Think about it. Grayson Allen, man. Grayson Allen was good at basketball, had solid stats, but he got old. And when you get old, you don't get drafted.
Yeah, I guess that's a thing too. Like if you are around in college basketball for 2-3 seasons, there's probably a stigma that goes with that. No,
You want to know what's maybe more insane than that?
Where's Luka Garza?
45.
No way. We're
to
on
the Sacramento Kings. Luka Garza, 6'11" at number 45. It's because he's 22, man. That's what happens. You get old and you don't get drafted high.
Sacramento's not a cool place either. So
No.
that sucks too for him.
But Jared Butler's going to the Lakers,
There we
baby.
go, baby.
And flipping Davey on to the Clippers. Little crosstown
They're both in
rivalry
LA.
right there.
That'd be fun.
There was something else I want. Oh, we had a Riverbend Liquor and Wine text line text come in that says, okay, I got a question for y'all. If we won't be out-talented by any team this year, then what style of play would be the toughest for us? 40 minutes of hell, Princeton offense, etc. That's a good question.
That's a really good question.
I don't know how familiar you are with like the 40 minutes of hell of the Princeton offense.
I'm not that familiar.
So
I've been to Princeton before. but
Arkansas
not
ran the
else.
40 minutes of hell under Nolan Richardson. That was their staple. They are going to score as many points as they can in a 40-minute span, forcing the other team 40 minutes of hell. You're going to have to endure us scoring 115 and keep up. Then there's the Princeton offense, which is one of the most meticulous and just well thought out offense. It's so tough to learn. It is an art of an offense in basketball, and it takes a while to develop. So you may not be putting up 50, 60 points per game in the Princeton offense. What do you think? What's the pace of play that Baylor won't be able to put up with? What can one team do to stop Baylor?
Assuming they won't be out-talented by somebody, I'm a little nervous if Baylor runs into a team that has just a bunch of trees. Like some bigs that can just dominate on the inside. Because Baylor has good bigs, right? But Mark Vital's, 6'5".
6'5".
He's thick, but he's 6'5". He's like kind of a big
But
for
he
Baylor.
plays 7 foot.
Yeah, he definitely does.
He's a brick wall.
It's just tough when you get to a 7-footer that has a whole half foot on you. I think that could be really interesting for Baylor to see how they handle that. Obviously, Everyday John, Flo, great bigs, but are they going to match up well against elite bigs? I don't know. That makes me kind of nervous.
How? Mark Vital's a brick house.
He is a brick house.
He's mighty.
I would not run into him full speed.
I think you make a very good point there. Look at like Purdue 2 years ago when they had Haas and the other big guy that were both like 7'4", just the Slovenians that were throwing it down low. I mean, who's going to stop that? But you are going to have an Azubuike. You're going to have to have a Kevin Sampson at TCU. I like a lot. I think he should come into his own. He reminds me a lot of Azubuike. But you need a guy like that is bulked and can just yam it. And Baylor's not seen that yet this year, would you say?
No, they haven't.
Not that they can't stop.
Yeah,
not
that they've had problems with. What about Garza?
No.
Do you worry about him in the tournament a little bit?
Yeah, but then outside of Garza, then what? I think Armstrong makes a good point. When it's not Luka Garza, then who?
Yeah.
What are you worried about after that? Jack Wheeler commenting, worst film of all time is either Battlefield Earth or The Last Airbender.
I like Last Airbender.
Okay, somebody told me, I thought it was okay. I thought it was fine. It wasn't the worst ever. Somebody told me that they thought the Avatar movie, the blue Avatar movie,
was the worst ever?
Is one of the worst movies of all time.
No.
Rotten Tomatoes rates that movie like top.
Really?
Was it you telling me that?
No, I didn't say that, but it's not great.
Why?
I liked it.
Why is it not great?
It was made for. Hold on. It was made for. A lot of the movie was shaped around the IMAX 3D experience.
Yeah.
Right.
Which actually, when you watch it not in that, takes away from the movie. The story itself, in my opinion, is not that amazing.
I also thought Shutter Island was like a top 10 movie on IMDb. It's like 120 something.
52, yeah.
152. It's like my gauge may be pretty off, but I enjoyed Avatar.
I enjoy it. Like, I can sit down and watch that movie, but it's not like wow, this is incredible. It definitely did not deserve to be the highest grossing film of all time. I'll tell you that. Very glad In-Game put a stop to that because it did not deserve that. Sorry.
No. What was your nomination for worst movie ever?
Blade Runner.
Blade Runner. Okay.
The original Blade Runner.
Haven't seen that.
Terrible.
Gotcha.
Absolute trash.
I would say the worst movie. This is a hot take too. There are people.
I think I know what you're going to say, but go ahead.
What am I going to say?
I think you're going to say Polar Express.
Freaking
Really?
Polar Express is the worst movie.
I like
trash.
Polar Express.
It is
Have you
unbelievably
watched it
bad.
recently?
I'm the odd man out in all these.
It's
I
so
think. I like
trash.
Polar
Freaking
Express.
Polar
There's another movie that was
Tom
made.
Hanks?
It was made for the 3D experience, and then they thought, it'll just be great because people like technology and it'll be 3D and it's cool.
I liked
not
it.
putting
Like
any
Spy
thought.
Kids 4
man.
or Spy
Yeah.
Kids 3.
Put no thought into the
man.
story.
Spy Kids 3, you watch it in theaters, you're like, wow, it's coming at me. And you watch it at home, and you're like, what are these crap graphics?
But like Polar Express, the story is like it's a book. Like Polar Express, the story wasn't the issue. The story of
No,
Polar
the
Express
story-
is timeless.
okay, yeah.
If that's the issue.
Yeah, I think the story's okay.
Timeless.
But when you think about
That's
like
kind of
the
a staple,
actual
right?
what they put
don't
together, the animation's not good.
animation.
Tom Hanks
is not good.
Tom
Around
Hanks
Christmas
plays like
time,
7 of the characters.
It's creepy.
I wouldn't watch it any other time besides the month of
All
December.
aboard.
Dude, I kind of like it. I think it's
Tom
cool.
Hanks did put that movie on his
He
back.
did, because they couldn't
But-
find anybody else that wanted to do the movie. And they're like, all right, Tom Hanks, you are now playing 11-year-old boy, and action.
He must have just
I'm
been
on the Polar Express.
He
Thank you,
must
Tom
have
Hanks.
just been grinding in the
He
studio.
was grinding. He
just
was grinding.
sleeping in the studio.
He
sings
is all
all
of
the
the
songs.
characters.
Bipolar
Right.
disorder.
I will not stop for anybody. That is the single worst movie of all time.
It's bad. It's really bad.
What's worse?
I'm trying to think. See, I don't
It's
know what
really
my nomination
bad.
would be. I think I'm kind of in.
It's
you know
scary.
what? You know, it's probably not the worst movie of all time, but I really didn't enjoy was Soul.
Whoa!
People love Soul. I didn't like Soul.
I've heard mixed.
People are
mixed
going back and
opinions.
Yeah,
forth. There
it's
is a rift too. The reason we're actually doing this segment right now. This is Lane McCallum. This is a shout out to you, Lane. She put it on her story and said
Lane.
Soul is the worst movie of all time.
Really?
And I was like, whoa!
I've probably
take.
I've probably seen worse
understand
movies,
it.
but I don't like Soul.
I understand it.
I understand the
You have
take.
to have an affinity for art.
No. The story's bad. The ending sucks. The ending was trash.
Why? It was a great message.
No, it was not. I actually disagree with that. I think
Soul?
the message should have been, a good message would have been, he realizes that being a teacher is actually a worthwhile thing. And that what he was doing was actually, had value, but he just didn't realize it because he had his eyes fixed on other things. But no, they made it like, at the end, it was like, okay, yeah, actually, that teaching was bad, and you do need to be a rock star. It's like he should have
he
realized.
got to live his dream and realize
No.
what was important. Hold
know
on.
what?
He should have just had his
Text
eyes opened.
Lane McCalmont. We are currently
gosh.
on the radio show right now arguing about whether Soul
Did you
is
just
a
talk to-
good movie or
Did
not.
you just talk to
and
Siri?
my other two partners say that it sucks.
There's no way Siri got all that.
It's impressive it did. I will say I have my nomination for worst movie I've seen.
Yeah, I want to hear it.
Where the Game Stands Tall is atrocious.
I've never seen it.
Based on a true
Is
story.
that the one Madison Pettis and The Rock?
No, that's
got
the
another
game
one.
plan. That's
That's
not
the game
I
plan.
actually enjoyed that more.
Game plan. I kind of enjoy a game plan.
Where the Game Stands Tall is based on a true story about De La Salle football. I had
yeah.
such high expectations, hated it.
It starts in the hospital room.
Really didn't like it. Really
Why
didn't like
don't you like it?
it just felt so cheesy to me. Like,
They won the state title. The championships.
Have you ever seen a non-cheesy sports movie?
Good
dude,
point.
Remember the Titans, I think. Maybe
Yeah,
watching it back
Titans.
kind of
Oh,
cheesy.
I've got a bad hot take that I'm going to get canceled for this.
Oh, don't say anything about
Yeah,
Remember
don't
the
say it.
Titans. I like Remember the Titans.
I'm going to get canceled for that. It's not Remember the Titans. You ever seen the movie Greater?
No.
Okay, Brandon Burlesworth's story. Staple in the state of Arkansas. The dude was a walk-on, played for the U of A, could have gone to Tech on scholarship,
Okay.
decides to go to Fayetteville instead, works his way up to the starting offensive lineman, becomes an All-American, lineman of the year. He gets drafted first round, going to the Colts. He's going to be a starter, dies in a car accident. Crazy story, man. The dude plays like this close to a national championship. Unbelievable. But then there was the movie.
It's not a good movie.
The movie's good. I think good is subjective, obviously. The movie's good, but the budget was low. So like basically kind of one of the plot like a subplot of the movie is where he shows up and he's really fat when he gets to the university. And so they're like, no, we got to work him down. He needs to be like chiseled lineman shape, not fat guy shape. But instead of like legitimately making it look like the actor is fat, they just put extra t-shirts on him. And
That's tough.
yeah, and I couldn't get past that part.
So the whole movie was ruined for you because they put extra T-shirts on him in one scene.
Throughout like the whole he's like the grinding scenes, where he's getting skinny, and it's like, all right, take off 3 T-shirts. Like, oh man, that guy's dropped 6 pounds. Like,
Hey, when you're on a budget,
not to mention
not a
there
bad
are
idea.
0 brands in the show, so it's just like, yeah, that guy's wearing an all red T-shirt, and that guy is in a unbranded hat. The story's good.
That's tough.
Watch movies. It's very rare to someone wear a branded hat or shirt in any movie.
I don't see why. I'll start paying attention to that.
Yeah.
I don't see why anyone outside of the state of Arkansas would really connect as much with the movie. Probably because there are a ton of cameos for Arkansas people. So a bunch of radio hosts that I grew up listening to were in the movie with cameos.
Oh, that's cool.
Houston Nutt was in there as a janitor. His old football coach was a janitor in the movie.
That is
Cute
cool.
stuff like that.
That's
You
cool.
wouldn't notice unless you knew the story. My roommate came home one day. I was like, bro, Greater, insane. Good movie.
Is he from Arkansas?
No. He's from Kearns, Texas.
Kearns.
Shout out
That
Tate.
works.
But what do I say
another
to
bad
that?
movie?
What?
Sorry, I don't mean to continue.
I love
this.
it.
No.
Atlantic Rim.
Haven't seen it.
It's a Pacific Rim knockoff.
No.
Yeah, it's real.
That's bad.
I watched it. It's so bad.
Yeah, so what's the worst sports
Sharknado
movie?
4.
It's a worse sports movie.
Yeah, what's a bad sports movie?
Dude, Game Stands Tall still takes the cake.
People
for
hate
me.
Rudy. People hate Rudy.
I kind of like Rudy. I haven't seen Rudy in a long time.
He was offsides, though.
He was offside.
He was
Way
offside.
offside. I'm trying to think of bad sports movies.
Did you know, this is a crazy fact today. This should be on this would have been in our fact game. We're doing take 3 later on. Did you know that Rudy was filmed at an actual Notre Dame game?
No.
So this is like 1993, all right? Armstrong, you're going to like this too. Colt, you'll love it. 1993, it is Boston College, Notre Dame. They alert Boston College, hey, we're going to have a little bit longer of a halftime because they're filming a movie at halftime of this game.
I would be livid.
Boston College gets super pissed off.
Yes.
They're like, you've got to be kidding me. You're not filming a movie at halftime of our game. And they're like, no.
This is the Clemson game?
No, this is Notre Dame, Boston College. They're like, no, we are. And so they're like, oh yeah, we'll show them. We're going to go out. We're going to kick their butts. The score was like 49-0 at halftime. Notre Dame was beating the crap out of Boston College, then filmed Rudy, then proceeded to beat Boston College even worse.
That is the greatest troll I have ever heard of in sports
so
history. I'd be livid if I was that coach. How do you explain that to your AD afterwards? Like, hey, we got beat by 50 and then they filmed a movie at half. Like, dude, during social media, like if social media was around, they would have gotten just destroyed on the Twitter sphere. That'd been hilarious.
Oh, but then if you're Boston College, the movie Rudy was shot over the course of several weeks, but it was during halftime of Notre Dame's 1992 game against Boston College that the famous final scene was filmed. Oh,
That's so funny. That's so funny.
That's tough, man. You hate to see stuff like that.
Hey, by the way, if anyone wants to watch Atlantic Rim, the full thing is free on YouTube.
Oh, really?
Why would you do that?
I'm sold.
Why are you?
I know what I'm doing
You
today.
should watch it on the show.
Somebody asked on the Riverman Liquor and Wine text line, we're going to hit a break, and then come back with SicEm Pick'em and take 3. Can someone talk about Carrington's return and if she should start? I like this question. Dejanay Carrington of the Baylor Lady Bears. What she brings to the table is really... I think she showed it when she put up 17 a couple of games ago with her return. I think Dejanay Carrington is a staple for the Baylor Lady Bears, and I think her being back makes them an Elite 8 Final Four contender. And I would not be surprised if she starts. I think D.D. Richards does a really good job of facilitating the point guard spot. But I like Dejanay playing in that spot a little bit too here and there. And I also like when Dejanay, she can shoot the basketball too, man. I think Dejanay Carrington is that piece that's going to put Baylor into the Elite 8, maybe Final Four conversation this year. But anybody can beat anybody. I was talking to Bruce Geetson, the voice of the Lady Bears, a couple days ago, and he said, Gino Auriemma was talking about it, that there are no great teams in college basketball this year. There's just a bunch of good teams.
In women's college basketball.
Yeah.
Or just in general.
In women's college basketball.
In women's college basketball. Well, that's tough. You score 17 off the bench. Are you like, hey, stay on the bench, keep doing what you're thing. We like you coming in and contributing 17 points. Like, you have to wonder, is she more comfortable off the bench? But anytime you're scoring 17, you're like, yeah, you probably can start for us.
Yeah, she is making 1.4 threes per game while connecting on 30% from her shots from beyond the arc. I like Dejanay Carrington right now. I think she'll be an X factor moving forward. That's a good question.
Yeah.
You know,
Walking
should she
bucket.
start? Dejanay Carrington, yeah, we'll see her in action tonight at home against Kansas. Carrington's let me double check. Yeah, she's a senior.
Okay.
So I think, I don't mind having her in the starting lineup.
Let her
at all.
start. She's a senior. Let her start.
No,
Let her go get buckets.
I trust Kim, though.
Yeah.
In Kim, I trust.
Whatever she wants is right to me.
How about, all right, we're going to hit a break right here, but also, Jack Wheeler says, don't forget The Room. You guys ever seen The Room?
Dude, Disaster Artist, one of my favorite movies.
Such a good, it's
I
hilarious.
love Disaster
Oh,
Artist.
hi, Mark.
I haven't
did
seen
not
The
hit
Room.
her. I did not.
Apparently, it's like hard to get your hands on The Room, from what I've heard. Is that
Yeah.
true? Like,
Really?
It's hard to go find it. Like,
You don't need to you just stream it.
Is it streamable? I don't know.
I don't know.
I've been to the year
But-
So bad. It's
I've
so
heard,
bad.
Yeah, I've heard like actually doesn't make
It's
sense.
hilariously good,
Wait,
though.
Like it's a tough watch.
I don't even think you can count it as a bad, like the worst movie of all time because
Yes.
is it even a movie?
Haven't even seen it, but I know what you're saying.
You know?
I love Disaster
Like-
Artist though.
Yeah,
Love
Disaster
movie about
Artist
it.
is great.
That's so funny.
You can't even consider it a feature film.
It's hilarious.
That title doesn't apply to the
It's
Room.
hilarious. The Room is...
Didn't he like pay to keep it in theaters so it'd be like eligible for Academy Awards or something?
Yeah.
And it like
Oh, hi,
just
Mark.
grossed
It's so,
like
it's so quotable.
$20 or something.
It's so quotable. And now it's grossed millions. Millions. And it wasn't supposed to be satirical, but it is. It's hilarious.
Tell me why.
All right. I'm Drake Toll, former Lake C Strong. That is J.D. Pickell, used to be RG3. Armstrong Sims. Colt Barber's doing some stuff in the back. We're going to hit a break real quick. Reader. And that's how we communicate sometimes on the show. We're going to hit a break. When we come back, we're going to do SicEm Pick'em and then take 3. This is Up Tempo. Teed up McLean Stadium this winter as Topgolf Live takes over Waco. Topgolf Live brings the Topgolf experience to iconic stadiums around the country and will be held at McLean Stadium February 25th through February 28th. Create memories with your friends, family, or coworkers this March when you choose the Topgolf Live Stadium Tour for your private parties and corporate or group events. To purchase your tickets today, visit www.topgolflive.com. Premium packages are available as well. Once again, to purchase your tickets today, visit www.topgolflive.com.
It was an absolutely insane night in college basketball with major upsets occurring across the country. Starting in the top 10, number 3 Villanova was favored by double digits, but managed to fall against unranked St. John's 70-59. Thanks to Posh Alexander's 16. Number 5 Houston was a 16-point favorite at East Carolina, who previously had one win in American Conference play. Playing an improbable spoiler role, the Pirates led the whole game and won handedly 82-73. Number 15 Creighton fell at home to Georgetown 86-79. 16th ranked Virginia Tech lost to Pittsburgh 83-72. And number 22 Florida lost to South Carolina 72-66 at home. Elsewhere, number 18 Missouri dropped Kentucky to 5-11 with a 75-70 win. Number 14, Virginia won at NC State 64-57. Number 10, Alabama beat LSU 78-60. And TCU upset Oklahoma State at home 81-78. On the women's side, number 3, UConn handled St. John's 94-62. And number 21, West Virginia beat Iowa State 65-56. In Baylor news, Aaliyah Miller and Casey Lightfoot of the men's and women's track and field teams have been named Big 12 Athletes of the Week. This is Lightfoot's league record 6th time to win the award. And equestrian's Madeline Calloway has been named the National Reigning Rider of the Month. I'm Armstrong Sims, and that's all the news that is news in college sports. This has been Armstrong's Minute on SicEm365 Radio's Up Tempo.
MP Electric has developed a quality-oriented electrical contracting service in more than 20 years in the industry. Led by President Mark Perry, our electricians go through a 5-year apprenticeship program, are licensed by the state of Texas, and getting continuous education annually upon renewal. In great part, the success of MP Electric lies with its management and professional expertise of its employees. All of our employees share a dedication to quality and commitment to serving the needs of our customers. For new construction and remodels, parking lot, lighting and surge protection, landscape lights, security lights, troubleshooting and repairs. For industrial manufacturing, food and beverage, paper and publishing, heavy industry, cement and rock crushing plants, water distribution plants, and utilities. For 20 years, MP Electric has serviced industrial, commercial, and residential products. We do service right. MP Electric Inc. at 1890 Galaxy Road, Waco. MPElectricUSA.com.
When we moved to Texas, we were like fish out of water. We didn't know anyone in our neighborhood until our Texas Farm Bureau insurance agent came to the house. She was so helpful and reassuring, a friendly face with that Texan hospitality I'd heard about. When we purchased a Texas Farm Bureau insurance policy, we knew we were making the right choice. We knew our family would be protected.
Stop by and see our agents at one of our 3 McLennan County locations.
Coverage and discounts are subject to qualifications and policy terms and may vary by situation.
Southwest Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, the team physician of Baylor Athletics. Our doctors specialize in the diagnosis and treatment of any and all sports-related injuries. Celebrating over a decade of service in Central Texas, our doctors are equipped to handle a wide range of issues, whether it's your foot or ankle, orthopedic spine care, your hand or wrist, knee and shoulder pain, or if you're in need of our arthritis or total joint clinic. Come see us at the new Baylor Scott and White Ted and Sue Getterman Sports and Orthopedic Center. Trusted doctors at Baylor Trust, Southwest Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. Our goal is to get you back in the game.
In the market for a quality metal building? Since 1943, Pioneer Steel and Pipe has helped Central Texas residential and commercial customers with metal building design, panel options, building components, and trim options. Pioneer Steel and Pipe's residential line is energy efficient, offers low maintenance, reduces insurance payments, is impact resistant, and carries up to a 45-year limited warranty. In addition, they can also help you find a metal building contractor for your project. Pioneer Steel and Pipe with locations in Waco and Bryan and at pioneersboys.com.
Do you or your kids get nervous about going to the dentist? Stonewood Dental, Dr. Steve Childress, he can help.
I've spent a career taking care of patients who as children had bad experiences, and now they're adults that hate going to the dentist. If I get a kid at 3 years old and they come every 6 months and it's a happy experience, it's normal for them. Now they have an accident at 6 or 7 or 8 at school. Now they have a broken tooth or a trauma, and they have to come here. They're used to lights, they're used to water in their mouth, they're used to experience, they already trust us. It's amazing what we can do with that kid without it being a negative thing. But if I see a 6 or 7 or 8 year old that's never been to the dentist, and now they have a trauma or an unfortunate unexpected toothache, it's harder to do that for that kid and it not be somewhat of a negative experience. So bottom line is I try to teach kids and adults and teenagers and everybody the way I'd want my family treated, which is where it's a necessary part of life. You just take care of it. It doesn't have to be that big a deal.
Learn more, stonewood-dental.com.
Welcome back to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio.
Welcome back into Up Tempo. Drake Toll, J.D. Pickell, Armstrong, Sims. It is time for today's SicEm where we break things down across college basketball in the nation. And we'll be joined at 12:05 by resident sorority girl Abby Stokes. She's Chi Omega.
There you go.
Coming on to explain to us what exactly is going on with The Bachelor.
I didn't even know The Bachelor was going on.
Yeah, I didn't either.
She's going to tell us exactly what it is.
Apparently, she's going to put it to us in sports terms, too.
I'm excited to watch that. That'll be fun.
We will see how that goes. How about today's SicEm?
Yep.
Let me ask you this. For those that are out there in the world, across the universe of the world, that believe or that are down money, they're short money.
Right.
What do you give them today?
Dude, I'm not going to lie. It's been a good week. I was started off pretty slow, like 0-3. I think it was like 2-5 at one point. We've since rebounded. We're 7-2 this week. Sleepy slate. I was telling you before the break. Sleepy slate for me. If you want to watch these games, you're going to need ESPN Plus. So go into your wallet. You're going to make it back by watching these games and betting on these games, monopoly-wise. Eastern Carolina against Eastern Kentucky.
There it is.
Eastern Kentucky is amazing against the spread. They're 11-1. 85% of the time they're covering, and that's kind of how I'm doing my picks these days. It's just trends. Who's good against the spread? And Eastern Kentucky is very good against the spread. Won their last 10. They're rolling. I like that a lot. Montana State at Weber State. I like Weber State minus 6.5. Montana State makes me a little nervous. They're playing well right now. But listen, we don't listen to our heart anymore. We just listen to the numbers. The numbers make the decisions now. Weber State is 8-2 against the spread. They're rolling. They're coming off a big series where they absolutely boat raced Idaho back-to-back games on the road. I like that a lot. Again, Weber State minus 6.5. Morehead State +3 against Murray State. Again, these are sleepy picks. You're going to need ESPN Plus. You want to watch any of these. But Morehead State is 13-4 against the spread. They've won their last 9 in a row. They won this game 61-56 last time they played. That was a while ago. But again, Morehead State +3. These are all, again, favorable teams against the spread. I like them a lot. That's what I'm rolling with today, Drake.
I like SIU Edwardsville. They're even at home against Tennessee State. SIU's 4-4 in OVC. Tennessee State's 2-10 in OVC. Tennessee State 3-12 overall. While SIU Edwardsville has dropped 2 straight, this is a good game they can come back on. Tennessee State has also dropped 2 straight, both being on the road. While SIU Edwardsville is not very good, has not been very good at home. They just were upset by Eastern Illinois. That's not good. I didn't see that one coming. They lost to Austin Peay as well. Again, mediocre team at SIU Edwardsville, but I think Tennessee State is worse. They lost 4 out of the last 5. They can be streaky. I like the SIU pick because it's even right now, and Tennessee State has not been very good. They're 2-10. I also like the Radford pick against South Carolina Upstate. Radford's a -9 right now. They're 10-2 in Big South play. South Carolina Upstate is 3-5. I think Upstate is on the come up. They're 3-11, which is not good, but they've won 3 games in conference play, and they've all been pretty recent. They've won 3 out of the last 5. However, they've lost 2 straight. Radford's looking for a bounce back after an upset loss. I like Radford -9. No. But a money line. Add that money line into a parlay. I want to talk, and this is where we get real. This is insane to me that Iowa is a 5.5-point favorite at home against Ohio State. Number 8 Iowa, number 7 Ohio State. I'd be remiss if we didn't pick the big game of the day.
Right.
What do you see in the Ohio State-Iowa game in Iowa City?
You know, I haven't been super impressed with Ohio State lately. I just haven't. I haven't watched a ton of Iowa. I think Luka Garza, if he's off, they are in big trouble. Assuming Luka Garza is on, I think 5.5 is a pretty reasonable number for Iowa to cover.
Iowa has lost 2 out of the last 3. They beat Michigan State, and they struggled. They lost at Illinois. They lost at home by 12 to Indiana. However, Ohio State's won 3 straight. They've beaten Wisconsin on the road by 12, Penn State by 4, Michigan State by 17. Whew. I like Ohio State plus 5.5 tonight. If you had to pick it, I like Ohio State plus 5.5. You may even find a money line on that game. I think Iowa drops 3 out of their last 4 tonight.
At the crib?
How about Arizona going away from their crib? They're 1.5-point favorites at Utah. Look at the trends, folks. Arizona and Utah tonight. Arizona's won 4 out of the last 5. Utah has lost 2 out of the last 4, but their wins are against not very good teams such as Colorado and Washington State, and they lost to Washington. Washington's really bad at basketball.
Right.
They come back home. Their last home game, they lost to a bad Cal team by 9. So Utah's not great at home. Arizona has shown they can win on the road with wins at Oregon State and at Arizona State. How about it? I like Arizona minus 1.5, or you might as well go with a money line tonight on Arizona. Outside of that, let's see. There's some other good ones in here. I like Temple tonight, 1.5 at home. Temple's been playing they played well up until the flipping ECU game that I picked. Come on, folks. Let's see. Was there anything else that you had in here? What was your other one?
What was my other one? I'm looking at Iowa against the spread.
Did you see?
Pretty relatively the same.
Did you see?
As Ohio.
I like your Eastern Kentucky pick too.
Right.
Minus 2.5 home at home against Austin Peay. Did you see Murray State and Morehead State? Folks, listen to this. Morehead State has won 5 straight by 19, by 22, 11, and 14.
Yep, I got them.
They are dogs at home tonight.
I know. I got them picked.
Against Murray State.
I know.
Who has granted Murray State's won 3 out of the last 4, but Morehead's 10-2.
I know. That makes
what
me nervous.
What do I not know?
What does Vegas know?
What does Vegas know that we don't know?
They're my second pick 'em. I'll go back to what you said about Iowa, Ohio State. Done more research. Iowa, as a home team, is 8-3 against the spread.
Okay.
That is good news. Ohio State on the road against the spread.
Tell the folks what app you're using, by the way, please.
We are using teamrankings.com. You can check against the spread, and it's really helpful for me as someone who hasn't been amazing to start. Got on teamrankings.com, said, hey, what's the deal here with the numbers? Talked to Big Joe Murray. He's like, hey, go with trends. I said, okay.
I like Big
Ohio
Joe
State 3-3-1 on the road against the spread. Numbers tell me Iowa. We're rolling with Iowa, folks. 5.5.
Moneyline Stanford at Cal tonight. Moneyline Oregon State at home against Washington. Minnesota is at Rutgers. That, for me, is a pick'em. I stay away from it. I think either team could win that game. Stay away from it in general. Any over-unders you like tonight?
You know, over-under's been burning me lately.
Yeah,
I think it's tough because you got to count on both teams. Like, I can pick against the spread because I know who's good against the spread. When it's over-under, it's like, okay, who's having a good shooting night, who's not. Too tricky. I stay away from that. If there's something you really like, Baylor over has been a trend. I like that a lot going forward, but nothing tonight.
How about Idaho? Idaho has not sniffed within 15 of a team since January 16th, which is my mom's birthday.
Hey.
Prior to that, they lost 2 games by 20 and 16. They're not very good at home. They've played 4 straight home games, playing their 5th straight against Eastern Washington, who just beat the mess out of Sacramento State. Eastern Washington minus 15 is a pretty safe bet tonight. I like Eastern Washington in that one.
Idaho's 0-13.
Yeah, not good.
Winless.
What about Gonzaga Pacific? I'm not even seeing a line on this game.
Yeah, and there's no line, and I don't blame Vegas for not putting a line up. Got to look probably high and low to find something favorable. But whatever it is, I'd probably say Gonzaga's going to cover. They covered 27.5 against San Diego not too long ago.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
Last one here. If you're liking Oregon, if you're liking the Oregon-Washington State game and you're able to get an Oregon money line, take Oregon on the money line, but I don't know about 11.5. All right. Do we have the music, Armstrong? It is time for Take 3, or Go for 3, or 3-pointer, or something about the word 3. And we're going to bring in Colt Barber, the owner of SicEm365, and our boss in studio today, doing some work on the stew, making it a little more homey. I like it. Colt, thanks for joining us.
Absolutely, guys.
So the way this game works, I've got 6 facts, or are they? 3 of them are true, 3 of them are false. Each of you will get to pick what you think. Question number 1. Only Greece has competed in every single Olympic game. Modern Olympic Games. Only Greece. JD?
Every single one.
Yep.
Modern, dating back to when?
Dating back to like 1800s.
Oh, gosh. I'm going to say it's, no, I think probably more than just Greece has competed.
Okay, Cole?
So you're asking.
I'm saying false.
Like JD said, this is the only one that's ever done it?
Yeah.
Only Greece has done that.
True or false?
False.
Cole or Armstrong?
False.
We've got 3
Tricky.
falses around the board.
Yeah.
Question number 2. The World Series is the oldest sporting event in the U.S. Armstrong?
False.
False. Colt?
Are we talking professional sports?
Yeah, like major sporting event.
Oh.
True.
We got a true from Colt. Armstrong, you gonna change yours?
No, actually, I'll keep it.
False. JD?
The World Series is the oldest sporting
I
event.
mean, you got to
in
think
America.
football, like, it wasn't a thing. Baseball's been around
but
forever.
like,
Super
I feel
Bowl
like it's
wasn't.
going to be something.
I feel like track
Well, we
has been
don't play
all around
cricket.
for a long time. Yeah, but there's like, what's the
Yeah,
big
but
track
there's going to be
event?
something else that's like.
Oldest sporting event. I'm going to say true.
We got a true
America's
from Colt and
pastime.
JD. NFL referees get a Super Bowl ring. True or false?
True.
Armstrong?
I think that's true.
I think true.
Yeah, true.
We got trues all around. The 1972 Boston Bruins are misspelled on the Stanley Cup. The 1972 Boston Bruins are misspelled on the Stanley Cup.
I'm going to say no, and I'm going to take a shot in the dark and say they didn't actually win it in 72.
Armstrong?
I say false.
Colt?
False, for sure.
And then 2 more here.
They just fix it.
I mean, Bruins, like, it's not that hard to spell, surely.
The
Somebody caught that.
largest
You hope
attendance ever at a single hockey game was 113,000
True.
for a matchup between Michigan State and Michigan.
I
What
believe
year
it.
was this?
I cannot give you the year.
I think that was kind of recent. I think it was the outdoor classic, like within the last 3 years.
That's what I was thinking. It was going to be the outside. They
Yeah.
played in like a huge stadium.
But I don't know if it was Michigan State, Michigan.
Yeah, that's the tricky part.
I think it was a different
Because
game.
the Winter Classic is in an NHL thing.
Yep. So true or false?
I'm saying false.
I already have 3 falses though.
Okay. True or
playing the
false?
odds here.
I'll go true.
True.
That's false.
Michigan State's huge.
I think
Right?
it was a different game.
And then last but not least,
Yeah.
Pittsburgh and San Francisco are the only cities with 3 sports teams, pro sports teams, that have the same colors.
Wait, say it one more
that's
time.
tricky.
Say it one more time.
San
sports
Francisco and
teams.
Pittsburgh are the only cities that have 3 professional sports teams with the same colors.
False. I mean, San Francisco 49ers and the
Warriors.
Giants aren't the same colors.
Right.
So,
False.
Okay.
Yeah, it's got to be false.
Starting with the World Series is the oldest sporting event in the
got one wrong
U.S. It is false. Colt said true and JD said true. Armstrong, you were correct. It is actually the Kentucky Derby.
Thank you. I knew it was going to be something random.
Oldest ever.
That
I
makes
knew it was going to be
sense.
something
It's not
random.
that
What about
random.
Olympics?
The only Greece has competed in every Olympic Games. You were all correct. It is false.
Nice.
Australia is the only other country to
Good
compete in every single Olympic Games.
Good eye, mate.
I'll take it.
Pittsburgh
Nice.
and San Francisco, the only cities with 3 sports teams that share the same colors. That is false. Well done, boys. Pittsburgh is the only city that every professional sports team shares colors.
Interesting.
NFL referees get a Super Bowl ring. That is true. You were all correct. Trues all around for that.
Yep.
The 1972 Boston Bruins are misspelled on the Stanley Cup. You all said false, and you were all incorrect.
No way.
It's true.
It is misspelled. Their 1972 hockey championship,
how do
Boston
you mass
Bruins,
produce something
misspelled.
like that?
70s
Yeah,
is
it's
like
bad.
pretty recent too. Like
That's bad.
That's like not that long ago.
It's kind of neat though.
That's unfortunate. That
Adds
is cool.
some flavor.
That is cool.
Then the
Good spell
largest
check.
attendance ever at a single hockey game, 113,000 in the Big House for an outdoor matchup between Michigan State and Michigan. That was true. Both of you guys,
No.
JD. Armstrong's the winner today. Armstrong with take 3, taking a victory.
Play the odds, play the
Armstrong's
odds.
been hot on these games lately.
He's rolling.
I'm Drake Toll.
you
That's JD Pickell, Armstrong Sims, and Colt Barber in studio today. This has been hour number 1 of month number 1 of
Boom.
Uptempo, folks. Thanks for joining us. We'll be right back with resident sorority girl. This is Uptempo.
Brady throws end zone. He's got Evans for the touchdown.
Super Bowl 55 in Tampa, Florida, and SicEm365 Radio will be live at NFL Media Headquarters and Radio Row later today from 3 until 6. Hi, this is David Smoak. Join Paul, Catalina, and me for daily news and notes on the Buccaneers and Chiefs, interviews with players, coaches, and personalities.
The presenting sponsor of Super Bowl 55 coverage from Tampa, Florida on SicEm365 Radio is Marco's Pizza, pizza for pizza lovers, with locations in Woodway, China Spring, and Belmead.
Here's Mahomes. Look at underhanded. He throws it for the touchdown. How about that throw?
Little underhand.
Also brought to you by IdealMRI.com, Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, Waco Custom Marketplace, Boozer's Jewelers, Stonewood Dental, Richard Carr Buick GMC Cadillac.
Here's the fake toss. Able to get away and find Hill at the 35-30. Hill inside the 20.
Edward Jones Financial Advisors, Petty Clinic Low T, Pioneer Steel and Pipe, Southwest Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, Allen Samuels Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat, and Impact Health Labs.
Brady goes for the deep shot. He's got a touchdown! Scotty Miller!
Buccaneers and Chiefs in Super Bowl 55 in Tampa. And we're live later today, 3 until 6 from NFL Media Headquarters on SicEm365 Radio.
With so many companies and policies out there, it gets so confusing shopping for insurance, and I never know if I'm getting the policy that's right for me. Luckily, I met the team at the Niche Group Insurance Agency. With the Niche Group, you can go to one company and get access to coverage options from many insurance carriers, and you get to speak to a real person about your specific coverage needs. With the Niche Group, I know I'm getting the right coverage at the right price. If you need insurance, talk to the experts at the Niche Group at 1-800-258-8302.
It takes time to reach goals. It's a truth that applies to more than sports. It goes for your financial goals as well. You work hard for your money, and you deserve an investment strategy that lines up with your game plan. And Tom Albers, your Edward Jones financial advisor, can help. If your financial investments aren't putting forth the effort you desire, stop by today for a financial review. Tom Albers, 4301 Lakeshore Drive, 254-776-7605. Edward Jones, member SIPC.
Stepping into the boots of a U.S. Army officer can add confidence and leadership skills to your son or daughter's career path. See all the things they can achieve in our boots at GoArmy.com. U.S. Army Waco Recruiting Company, 254-598-8131 or 254-776-1543.
Born in Waco, Brotherwell Brewing exists to serve the Central Texas community with locally crafted beer of the highest quality. They want to bring Central Texas closer to the brewing experience so everyone can enjoy well-made beer as much as they do. For 2.5 years, they've been bringing high-quality beer to Central Texas at their location on Bridge Street in East Waco. And this football season, you need to stop by on game day for curbside pickup or stop by their tent next to SicEm365 at Brazos Parking for your pregame refreshment. Brotherwell Brewing believes in community and bringing people together to enjoy products made in their community. So for your game day, whether it's a tailgate or at home, stop by Brotherwell Brewing for high-quality craft beer made right here in Central Texas, 400 East Bridge Street, and check them out online at brotherwell.com.
Boozers is the wedding ring store and more. If you're ready to get engaged or already married and want to upgrade your wife's ring for a special anniversary, Boozers is the place to go. With the largest selection of premier quality diamond engagement rings and wedding rings in Central Texas. They have 7 cases with over 300 styles of rings from top designers like Natalie Kay. Choose from yellow, white, or rose gold, plus beautiful top quality loose diamonds. With an in-house jewelry, they can also custom make anything you want. Bring in a picture or drawing and let Boozers create your one-of-a-kind pendant or ring. They can even use some of your old gold and diamond jewelry to create something new. At Boozers, you'll find a great selection of quality timepieces, and Boozers is the place for expert watch maintenance and repairs, too. They specialize in expert Rolex watch repair for fine jewelry, watches, custom work, and more. Go to Boozers on Valley Mills and Lake Air Drive in Waco.
Boozers, the wedding ring store and more.
Core has the
trucks, man, they have the one for you. Crew cab, short or long bed, silver, black or blue. Texas size selection, great prices too. Richard Carr, he has the truck for you. Carr has the trucks, man, he has the truck you need. If you want the best truck, you want a GMC. Texas size selection, great prices too. Richard Carr, they have the truck for you.
Welcome back to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio.
Welcome back in Up Tempo Thursday, otherwise known as Thursday. Some countries call it Thursday. I am Drake Toll. That's Armstrong Sims running the production today. J.D. Pickell has slipped out to take his dog to the dog park, but that's all right. Colt Barber's lifting heavy machinery across the room today. It is a big day. Baylor Lady Bears play tonight, and it's a big time in America right now. You know, there's been a lot going on across the country, and we would be remiss if we didn't address it today on Up Tempo, just because it seems careless to not mention it, and that is the fact that The Bachelor is currently going on in our nation. And I know it's taking a lot of people by storm. Me, myself, and I, being a college child, am just immersed in Bachelor culture. So today, to help explain to us what exactly is going on The Bachelor, and to put it in Big 12 terms, we're joined by resident sorority girl, Chi Omega Abby Stokes. Abby, welcome on Up Tempo.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, it's a pleasure to bring you on the show. And there's a lot that myself and Armstrong, our producer, are wondering today. And let's start here. What exactly is The Bachelor?
Okay, so general idea, they get one man and they bring 30 women on, and all 30 women are dating the same man. And at the end of each week, after they go on all of these elaborate dates, the man has a rose ceremony. He gives a rose to the people he wants to see next week. If you get a rose, you stay. If you don't, you go home.
Wow. So there is one man who gets to date 30 women.
Yes.
Wow. And tell me, how far into this process are we? I feel like I'm a little bit behind the boat with my Bachelor fandom.
We are about 5 weeks into The Bachelor right now. So I think we're down to 14 girls, around 14. So they started out with 30. They brought in 5 girls about halfway through, and now they have whittled it down to 14 potential wives for The Bachelor.
Wow. This process as well, when it comes to whittling down wives, is it like a stepping stool? Like the round one, you lose 10 people, and then it's 8, and then so on? Or how does this work?
Yeah, exactly. So they change the amount of people that they get rid of every week. So to start off, after the first rose ceremony, it goes from I think 30 women down to 20, and then they lose less and less girls each week. So,
wow. And how much longer, now that I'm picking up in Bachelor, into the Bachelor fandom, how much longer do I have to immerse myself in what exactly is happening?
You've got a few weeks. I think there's 4 or 5 weeks left. We have the big hometown dates coming up. That's when you get down to the final 4. The final 4 people get to take the Bachelor home to meet their families. And then they have the final rose, which is the proposal.
From a cultural standpoint, is it weird at all that one man is going on a date with 30 different women? Does that ever become an issue?
Absolutely. And it baffles me because every time that he's talking to another girl, they'll show a clip of a girl being like, I can't believe he's kissing this girl in front of me. I can't believe he's doing this. I'm like, you signed up for The Bachelor. What did you think was going to happen? He's dating 30 women.
Thank you. Armstrong's a big proponent of this. So can you help us here, us at Up Tempo? People at home are asking me right now, where our phone line is blowing up. They're saying, Drake, this is a college show about sports and Baylor. Does The Bachelor have anything to do with sports?
Not directly, but I think indirectly you could make some comparisons between the two. You've got the competition element, you've got the community element, and it rallies people around it. Me and my roommates, we sit down every week and we watch it, just like you gather to watch sports. So I mean, there's some similarities, but it's not the most similar thing.
Are there any Monopoly money bets that are placed on The Bachelor? Do your friends rally around the TV with Monopoly money on the line watching the show?
Not anybody that I know personally, but there are leagues. There's a fantasy Bachelor leagues out there, similar to fantasy football, where you guess who's going to make it through each week.
Wow. So take that, listeners that are questioning this. This is related to sports. Moreover, is there any relation to Baylor?
Again, not directly, but I mean, one of the old bachelorettes was a theta at Baylor, actually.
Wow.
JoJo Fletcher graduated from Baylor.
I am getting in my ear now from one of our producers, remote producers in New York, that a Pistol Pete, a Pilot Pete was
Pilot
a
Pete.
Baylor Bear as well?
Yes, Pilot Pete was a Baylor Bear, yes.
Wow. Can we confirm? Yeah, you don't remember Pilot Pete from The Bachelorette? Or was that The Bachelor?
Are you kidding?
He was the Bachelor.
You think I've ever
They
watched
start out going on The Bachelorette as contestants, and fan favorites who lose, who don't get proposed to, can then become The Bachelor.
No way.
That's how they select The
works?
Bachelor?
I did not know that.
Yes.
Every time?
Yes, except for this time. This is actually the first time Matt James, this year's Bachelor, he is the first person who is not already part of what they like to call Bachelor Nation.
Oh.
He is brand new. They just picked him. He's friends with someone who is on The Bachelor, and they picked him.
Why did they do that?
Because people liked him. He joined something called the Quarantine Crew with this other man who was on The Bachelor, made TikToks, they blew up, and people wanted him to be The Bachelor. And so they said, okay, we're going to forget everyone who was on The Bachelorette, and we're just going straight for Matt James.
Wow. That's unbelievable they have that kind of power. I felt like I was in control of my own life. Little did I know I could be on The Bachelor. I'm one good TikTok away from being on The Bachelor.
You are.
Exactly.
So, Abby, let's try to revert this into sports terms. If you were to break down The Bachelor into maybe even Big 12 terms, is there a way to do that?
I think I can do that. I can compare some of the contestants to Big 12 teams, kind of get that, so you guys can kind of be updated on who you like, who you don't like. Okay. So if you start watching, you have a good idea and you don't sound clueless.
Good.
Wow. I would love to hear that.
Yes.
I'm taking notes.
All right, starting off strong, Baylor. We're going to start as our Baylor pick. Rachel is my favorite. She's my roommate's favorite. We all want her to win. Therefore, she's Baylor because we're all rooting for Baylor here at SicEm365, okay?
This is a good point.
So Rachel, she's front runner. She got a one-on-one date this week.
What makes her so great?
Yeah, what do you like about Rachel?
Is it the looks, personality, has a cute laugh maybe?
I don't think there's anything in particular. She's just very normal, and she understands that getting involved in all of the house drama isn't going to get her anywhere. She's staying out of it, which is what makes me like her. She's not caving into that, oh my gosh, she's talking to other women when you're on The Bachelor kind of mindset.
I like Rachel.
And she's from Dallas. Am I seeing that correctly?
Wow.
That might.
Am I looking at the right person?
Can we get her on the show? Do you know Rachel personally? Can you connect us with Rachel?
I don't know any of the Bachelor contestants personally.
Oh. Keep going then.
Okay, so Rachel's Baylor. That's who we're rooting for.
All right.
As our rival currently, we're going to hit TCU. TCU is contestant. Her name is Kit. Now, Kit's mom is apparently a famous designer, and she mentioned that like every other sentence during last night's episode, but no one knows who her mom is. She was just like, oh, I grew up in the spotlight, but people are like, who are you?
Wow.
Kind of idea. She's got that spoiled, grew up in the spotlight kind of thing. And she's really Rachel's biggest competition right now because they had the 2 one-on-one dates this week, meaning that they got time with The Bachelor.
So Kit would be TCU?
Yeah, Kit is TCU.
So not everyone gets a one-on-one date, is that right?
No, so there's group dates and then there's one-on-one dates.
Group dates? As
There's
in he goes on a
also-
date with multiple women at once?
Yes. He takes multiple people on a date all at once.
Not at my good Baptist University. You're telling me that Baylor students are watching this right now?
They are, tragically.
Oh, jeez. We need revolution. Okay, so we have Baylor and TCU. Are there any other teams that we could compare contestants to?
Oh, absolutely. I've got all of the Big 12 teams.
Oh, yes. Let's go.
Yes.
Let's go.
So, Victoria, this is a name you need to remember. If you watch The Bachelor, you hate Victoria. Who does that kind of remind you of?
Yeah.
Texas.
Horns down. Victoria sucks.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Victoria sucks. Everyone hates UT when you watch any football game that you're playing UT. You root against UT. Naturally.
Take that, UT Mike. Victoria stinks.
If you watch The Bachelor, you have to hate Victoria.
Oh, she's still on the show? I've seen one episode.
Am I seeing this right?
Can I spoil it? Am I allowed to give spoilers from this week's episode?
Yeah, nobody that I don't watch The Bachelor.
Definitely.
She got sent home this week finally after all of this stuff, but she's just gross. She calls herself Queen Victoria.
Yeah, I was about to say.
it looks like she hasn't showered in a long time. Like, I just was really confused how she stayed there for so long.
I was too. I think I watched like part of the first episode solely because you forced me to. And I remember Victoria sucking, so I'm really glad that she's gone.
Yes. Victoria does suck. So
Oh. Okay, Victoria UT, I like that.
Naturally, that's the connection there. So coming in as we'll go Red River rivalry there. OU is going to be MJ. She's not quite as bad as Victoria, but she's really getting up there on the amount of drama she's causing, the things she's doing. She's really making her way up the hatred ladder. So that's MJ. You'll recognize her. She has really like curly blonde hair.
Yeah,
So if you watch, that's MJ.
her.
If you watch the show, I'm saying.
All right, I'll watch the show.
Okay.
Mondays?
Monday nights.
Bachelor Monday.
nights,
Okay. We've got MJ,
MJ's
UT,
OU, okay.
Rachel. Okay. Okay, I'm keeping up.
All right.
Okay, Iowa State. In my opinion, who is harmed by Iowa State? Who has a big rivalry with Iowa State in the Big 12?
Nobody.
They made a good run in the Big 12 football last year.
They're just kind of there.
And like, I think, but they're just kind of there. That's kind of like Abigail, contestant Abigail. She's sweet. She's nice. She's doing good enough.
Is
Do
that
I think
you?
she'll win?
Would you
No.
compare yourself to Abigail?
No, absolutely not.
In name only.
But she's there. She's getting there. She'll probably make it pretty far, but I don't think she'll win. Similar to Iowa State.
Yikes, take that, Iowa State fans.
That is rough.
All right, then we have OSU, which they have also somewhat become irrelevant other than when they play OU. And, like, they only play OU, but they still lose every time. So, Jasenia is the name of this contestant that we're going to pick as OSU. Jasenia,
Bless you.
yes.
What's her name? Bless you.
Jasenia, it's similar to Jessica, but with an N instead.
Okay, we're gonna have to get that changed. We're gonna have to make some phone calls. What is
So
she a cowgirl?
No, but she's getting put on what's called a 2-on-1 date. So he takes two women and only one of them returns from the date. The other one goes home.
Oh, that's
Like,
cutthroat.
instantly
Oh my
on the date.
gosh, it's sudden death.
Cutthroat, man.
Yeah, so OSU, aka Jasenia, is going on a 2-on-1 date with MJ, who is OU in our Big 12 world.
That's kind of
So, in my opinion, I think Jasenia will go home. We haven't seen it yet, but that's kind of my prediction.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then Kansas State, next pick. Anna.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I straight up don't know how she made it through the weeks that she did because she never talked to Matt. She never had time with him. But then she just started stirring things up in the house. Like, she was so irrelevant to the show, but then just caused drama within the house.
What a strategy.
Kansas State, they were kind of irrelevant, and then they beat Oklahoma 2 years in a row. For what?
Wow.
For what like, why? They're not good enough to be beating Oklahoma. And then they came out of nowhere and just kind of disrupted things a little.
So this is Jasenia, right?
This is incredible.
No, this is Anna.
This is Anna.
Oh.
This is Anna.
Not to be confused with Rachel, because Rachel's Baylor.
Rachel is Baylor.
Nice. Okay. So we have our Kansas State.
Yes. Then we have Kansas. So Kansas is contestant. I think her name is Maggie, but she gets so little airtime and is so not important to the show that I had to put her as Kansas. She just wasn't getting any airtime. I don't understand how she's still on the show either.
Kansas.
Like she
When's
just
the
comes
last
on
time
every now and
Kansas
then.
played football on ESPN? Never. I don't think they ever played football on ESPN.
All right, now finishing us off strong, we have Texas Tech.
This is Matt. Matt has kissed 30 girls, so he is Texas Tech.
Yeah,
we're overriding whatever you got going on.
Seriously.
Unless there's a girl in the house that's gotten around, then she can be Texas Tech. Otherwise, Matt embodies the Texas Tech student body as a man with 30 women.
Yes, well, I put Serena. She's a contestant. She's kind of unbelievable. Like, for no reason, it's just annoying. Like, she doesn't do anything in particular to really make herself annoying. She just kind of is.
Wow.
But she's not doing much. Kind of like Texas Tech in the Big 12.
I'm seeing two Serenas.
I have Serena C.
Serena C. Oh, okay,
Serena
okay.
C. Obviously. Wow.
So I actually had Matt James. You know, you would think that because it's The Bachelor would play like a pretty important role in the show. No, he is such an irrelevant piece to the show. Like, he's just there going on dates with people while the girls are having infighting in the house.
Do we like
that's where all the
Matt?
drama
What's
comes
our assessment of Matt right now? Who is he as a Big 12 team?
I think he has a lot less personality than like previous bachelors.
That hurts.
But oddly enough, he started the Bachelor off after like everyone came out of the limo in prayer.
Oh,
it was a really nice thing. He prayed, and then he's dating 30 women, so I don't really know how the two of those correlate.
Matt is the butt game. Matt is Baylor, Texas Tech at Cowboy Stadium. That's who Matt is. He prays before the game, but also Texas Tech is there.
Yeah, so I had him as kind of like the Big 12 commissioner is Matt James. Like he should be important.
Bob Bowlesby. Bowlesby.
Like he should be important because he's the commissioner of the Big 12, but in reality, you're watching the games. You're watching the two teams play each other. You don't really care what the commissioner's doing.
Wow.
So basically, Bob Bowlesby will pray before the conference, but also allows Kansas basketball to still play basketball.
Exactly.
Wow. What an assessment we've been given here. I feel like I am now adequately could compare. Who's our dark horse? We're rooting for Baylor right now?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're rooting for Rachel. We hate Victoria. Even though she went home, you can always hate on Victoria. That's the gist of things. If you want to talk to anyone about The Bachelor, just be like, oh, Victoria sucks.
Victoria's the worst.
Can we get Victoria on the show?
Can't believe Victoria.
Can somebody call Victoria?
Worst.
If our listener Twitter, do your thing. Get us Victoria, please. Okay, so
who are we? What's your prediction?
Yeah.
I think Rachel will win.
Wow. Homer. That's just a Homer pick.
Yeah, that is a Homer pick.
I think she'll win, but I think I could see Abigail winning too. That's our Iowa State pick, but I think she could win. I just don't know if she'll make it all the way.
Wow. I like Rachel already. From all the things you told me, she is very pretty. I haven't seen her. So Abby, for you are in a sorority as our resident sorority girl. As I understand, correct?
Yes, I am a Chi Omega.
Which sorority? Okay. Chi Omega.
Nice.
What would you put Chi Omega? If Chi Omega was a contestant on The Bachelor, who would she be?
If she was a contestant on The Bachelor, I would put her as Abigail. I would, despite how much I like Rachel, I would say Chi Omega is Abigail.
Is there a reason why?
I feel like no one really has a lot of issues with Chios. Not like, no one, they don't really cause a lot of problems. There's no house infighting like in some other sororities. Okay. And I feel like Abigail just does a good job staying out of the drama.
Wow. Well, you would know better than anyone as a Chi Omega. I am glad that you brought this perspective to the table. Our Bear Games questions of the day today, Abby, before we let you go. Number one, is Soul... Huh?
Well, I have one more question. I was going to ask her...
Introduce yourself.
On Mondays...
Introduce yourself.
I'm Mark Simpson, the producer here. On Monday's episode, what was like a big drama? What was like a big thing that happened?
Okay, so Victoria got sent home. That was the big drama. So Katie, she was there. She's West Virginia. That's who we forgot. Katie is West Virginia. She's just kind of like out there, but every now and then she likes to just like poke on in there and like stir some things up. So that's Katie. Katie went to Matt and said that the house was toxic because Victoria, that is the word she used. She said that Victoria was creating a toxic environment for the girls.
Well, yeah.
So there was all of this. He said, she said, I didn't say that. I didn't do that.
It's pretty much she said, she said.
Yes.
Yeah. It's not as much he said, she said.
No, yeah.
So the big thing was Matt went to both Victoria and Anna and was like, I won't put up with bullying in the house, and sent them both home.
Wow.
Boom.
Yeah.
Matt putting his foot down.
Matt said, I am Bob Bowlesby, and I'm going to kick you out of the Big 12. Nice.
So now the big cliffhanger is the 2-on-1 date between Jacina and MJ.
Wow.
That's our OU-OSU game.
Somebody's got to go home. Is there a situation in The Bachelor where Matt could marry two women? Can there be two winners?
Is that legal?
That happened on Pilot Pete's season. He proposed to a girl, and then like a week later was like, I only proposed to you because the other girl sent herself home. So then he broke off that proposal and then went and proposed to the other girl that had already gone home.
Did it work?
No, they broke up, and then he started dating one of the contestants he sent home in like week 3. And they dated for like a few months, and then they just broke up.
Has any Bachelor relationship ever worked out?
JoJo Fletcher, she is the Baylor Theta alum.
Okay.
Wow. She is happily engaged to be married She's like to Jordan Rodgers, Aaron Rodgers' little brother.
But we're still early in the game, though.
Let's call JoJo. We need to get him on the show. We need to get JoJo on the show.
Yeah, they've been engaged for, I want to say, like 5 years. They were supposed to get married this year, but COVID.
Wow. Would you say, this is our Bear Games questions today. I know you have class at 12:30 because we are college students. Do you hate the movie Soul?
Okay, I heard it was like overhyped. I haven't seen it, but my sister watched it and was like, why is everyone freaking out about this movie? It's not good.
There's a rift. What's the worst movie of all time? And if it's not Polar Express, then you're wrong.
Okay, Polar Express is a horrible movie.
Thank you.
It's so
but that wouldn't have been my first choice. I don't know if you've seen the movie Boyhood. Do not watch it ever.
I have.
They like follow the they film the kids growing up. Like it's the same cast as they grow from like being 5 to like 15.
Yep.
So they shot it over 10 years, but it has no storyline.
You're
it is the
absolutely
worst 2 hours of my life. My family was watching it and we're like, what is going to happen in this movie? It's literally them just like eating dinner and that's the story.
Thank you.
And then
horrible.
How long do you leave your laundry in the washer?
Well, I have 5 roommates, so I can't leave it in there ever. I have to. If it's done, you put it in the dryer. We got to keep the rotation going.
Yeah. If given the option, would you leave it in longer?
No, that would make them really soggy and like wrinkly.
Soggy and wrinkly? Okay, your entire case is just they're literally in the washer, which makes them soggy and wrinkly.
Yeah, because they're wet because they just finished being in the wash.
Right. So you want them to be soggy and wrinkly.
But if you leave them there, they're going to stay like that. It's going to ruin your clothes.
Okay. I'll just give her that. I'll give her that.
I will give you that. You have class at 12:30. Abby Stokes, resident sorority girl from Chi Omega. Thanks for joining us on Uptempo today.
Thanks for having me.
Avarar. All right, folks. That was Abby Stokes again, resident sorority girl from Chi Omega from Baylor. You know who else is a Chi Omega? Angela Kinsey, who was in the office. I just asked a question and answered it myself. How about this? We're going to be joined in just a second by Grayson Grundafer, who is going to guest host for a little bit for funsies, because we freaking love having Grayson on. Did you listen to Grayson's show the other day?
I did listen to Grayson's show.
You did?
As in, what do you mean his show? Like
the show that he hosted.
On Tuesday?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I was the person.
Freaking good.
I was the...
Oh, that was you. You're that Armstrong.
That's me.
The same one as the afternoon show. Gosh dang it. Man, how do you do that all day?
I don't know. I have no answer.
Heart, sweat, and pixie dust?
Okay. Yeah. We need to go to a break so we can go to Grace.
Drake Toll, Armstrong, Sims, Colt Barber's hanging up a picture over there on the wall. And this is Uptempo.
MP Electric has developed a quality-oriented electrical contracting service in more than 20 years in the industry. Led by President Mark Perry, our electricians go through a 5-year apprenticeship program, are licensed by the state of Texas, and getting continuous education annually upon renewal. In great part, the success of MP Electric lies with its management and professional expertise of its employees. All of our employees share a dedication to quality and commitment to serving the needs of our customers. For new construction and remodels, parking lot, lighting and surge protection, landscape lights, security lights, troubleshooting and repairs. For industrial manufacturing, food and beverage, paper and publishing, heavy industry, cement and rock crushing plants, water distribution plants, and utilities. For 20 years, MP Electric has serviced industrial, commercial, and residential products. We do service right. MP Electric Inc. at 1890 Galaxy Road, Waco. MPElectricUSA.com.
When we moved to Texas, we were like fish out of water. We didn't know anyone in our neighborhood until our Texas Farm Bureau insurance agent came to the house. She was so helpful and reassuring, a friendly face with that Texan hospitality I'd heard about. When we purchased a Texas Farm Bureau insurance policy, we knew we were making the right choice. We knew our family would be protected.
Stop by and see our agents at one of our 3 McLennan County locations.
Coverage and discounts are subject to qualifications and policy terms and may vary by situation.
Southwest Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, the team physician of Baylor Athletics. Our doctors specialize in the diagnosis and treatment of any and all sports-related injuries. Celebrating over a decade of service in Central Texas, our doctors are equipped to handle a wide range of issues, whether it's your foot or ankle, orthopedic spine care, your hand or wrist, knee and shoulder pain, or if you're in need of our arthritis or total joint clinic. Come see us at the new Baylor Scott and White Ted and Sue Getterman Sports and Orthopedic Center. Trusted doctors at Baylor Trust, Southwest Sports Medicine and Orthopedics. Our goal is to get you back in the game.
In the market for a quality metal building? Since 1943, Pioneer Steel and Pipe has helped Central Texas residential and commercial customers with metal building design, panel options, building components, and trim options. Pioneer Steel and Pipe's residential line is energy efficient, offers low maintenance, reduces insurance payments, is impact resistant, and carries up to a 45-year limited warranty. In addition, they can also help you find a metal building contractor for your project. Pioneer Steel and Pipe with locations in Waco and Bryan and at pioneersboys.com.
Do you or your kids get nervous about going to the dentist? Stonewood Dental, Dr. Steve Childress, he can help.
I've spent a career taking care of patients who as children had bad experiences, and now they're adults that hate going to the dentist. If I get a kid at 3 years old and they come every 6 months and it's a happy experience, it's normal for them. Now they have an accident at 6 or 7 or 8 at school. Now they have a broken tooth or a trauma, and they have to come here. They're used to lights, they're used to water in their mouth, they're used to experience, they already trust us. It's amazing what we can do with that kid without it being a negative thing. But if I see a 6 or 7 or 8 year old that's never been to the dentist, and now they have a trauma or an unfortunate unexpected toothache, it's harder to do that for that kid and it not be somewhat of a negative experience. So bottom line is I try to teach kids and adults and teenagers and everybody the way I'd want my family treated, which is where it's a necessary part of life. You just take care of it. It doesn't have to be that big a deal.
Learn more, stonewood-dental.com.
Welcome back to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio.
Welcome back into Up Tempo. It's Thursday. Let's go. Hey, if you're out there watching Up Tempo and you say, I am watching this on Periscope, and then you think, I want to stop watching this on Periscope because I do not like Periscope or YouTube or whatever you may be on. You may be watching us on Spotify. If you are, you're about 3 days behind and should probably not do that. But if that is you, there are so many options out there to watch Up Tempo and stay updated with the show in a way it's most convenient for you. So download the SicEm365 app, download YouTube if you haven't already. Just in general, download YouTube. Subscribe to the SicEm365 YouTube and watch Up Tempo all day long on your TV, uninterrupted on the app as well. I got a Riverman Liquor and Wine text line text here that said, this says, worst movie of all time is The Room. So there's someone else who is agreeing with The Room. Also, Richard from Woodway, coming by studio tomorrow, bringing a bunch of stuff from most Baylor sports. Use what you like. Some might be a history lesson. Good to see young Bears talking BU sports. Thank you, Richard, for that. Richard's the guy that asked yesterday about the white helmet. He said that he had the white helmet, remember? Do you need a good helmet? A gold helmet. That's what it is. Not mustard with green and white stripes for your desk. And I said, yes, Richard, yes. So we're going to get that. Is Grayson on? Oh, we have Grayson? Oh, Grayson! Welcome into Up Tempo.
What's going on? I love it, guys. That was a fun one, and I also liked hearing about all the awesome sponsors as well. Good stuff.
Yeah. What did he say, Armstrong? I'm sorry, he cut out. What did you say, Grayson? I'm sorry, you cut out.
Oh, my bad. Yeah, I just really liked the intro. It was good stuff.
Oh, yeah, the bum 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 dun 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 dun. Yeah, I love it. And the welcoming Grayson in. Yeah, I was really prepared for that. Grayson, thanks for coming on today. How about Tuesday, man? Walk me through Tuesday. You flipping killed that.
Yeah, it was a long day. No doubt about it. Got it. And Armstrong was right there with me all day long. Loved it. We filmed the Bearcast for the first time ever. The podcast. Now it's the Bearcast. So. Wow. And then, of course, I also did the show with you, Drake, on Up Tempo, doing the Big Board, our new weekly segment. So really excited about that. And then, of course, did the Late Show.
Wow. So it's not my show. It's not Armstrong's show. It's Grayson Grundafer's show now, baby. A whole week of Grayson coming on. Grayson, anything new? We'll kind of start here before we even get into just the thick of sports that are going on right now. We're going to talk a little bit of women's basketball, do some more Sick'em Pick'em action. Let me ask you, with the recruiting signing day this past week, was there anything that surprised you across the country? Obviously, nothing really happened on the Baylor end, but anything else around?
Nothing, like you said, nothing really on the Baylor end, which was we had been talking about that for a few weeks now. Even honestly, after the first signing day, it seemed like there was a possibility that they would not take anyone else in the class. And so that ended up becoming true. And now their focus is just on transfers, JUCOs somewhat, and then also the 2022 class. But honestly, the biggest surprise for me is it's not really a surprise, I guess, but M right now has some of the craziest momentum I've seen in recruiting in a while. I mean, they killing it, and it's just a little surprising to see what they've been able to do. They've been landing a lot of really high profiles, and then they also in the state in the 2022. So they're really they have a lot of momentum going on.
Hey Grayson, I don't mean to cut you off. We're going to. You're really cutting in and out, so we're gonna change platforms to Zoom. So hold on with me.
Okay.
Sweet. All right, that was Grayson Grundy for joining SicEm365 Radio's Up Tempo today. Sorry about that, folks at home. I got to switch over platforms there with Grayson on. I got to transfer over to Zoom. Before that, we've got today is the 1 month anniversary of Up Tempo. So later on in the show, got a couple of clips to commemorate the first month of the show. And thank you guys for watching out there. For right now, we've got Stephen from Virginia on the Impact Health Labs caller line. Stephen from Virginia, you're on with Up Tempo. I know you said you had a question for Grayson. So our guests via Skype will not be able to hear phone calls, but I can take whatever you may have and relay it when the time comes.
Okay, that would be great. The first Pick'em was I want everyone to pick Longwood minus the 3.5 against Charleston Southern. Charleston Southern is 1-15. I think 3.5 might be. I know Longwood isn't that good either, but the last 3 times I've bet on Longwood, I've come home a winner on that. So that's a streak. And then you ready to write this question down for Grayson?
Yeah, I'm so ready.
All right. Even though Grayson got to the school when it was more successful, are there 2 athletes from Baylor's not successful time during basketball and football, we'll say from 94 to 07, that he wishes people remembered more?
Any athletes from 94 to 07 that he wishes people remember more?
And I've got 2 candidates for that list.
Okay, who are yours?
Joe Pavelik, the linebacker, and Aaron Bruce from Australia, the guard for Baylor, who was freshman All-American.
I like it. Anybody else in your list right there? That's 13-year span, 94 to 07 that you like?
Sean Bell and Trent Shelton are 2, and then Representative Colin Allred. You know, he did play in the NFL. So, but that's a long time that we weren't very good. So there aren't too many other names on that list. I think people like the safety Jordan Lake, I really, he's been on some podcasts. I wish he got some good due too.
Do you want to stick just in football too?
Yeah, if we're talking about Baylor basketball during that time, the list gets even smaller. Coach Saman was on the show yesterday. Matt Saman was really a big deal. Curtis Gerald was a year, and Henry Dugat and Tweety Carter, but those guys got to experience a relative level of success that other guys didn't. So I mainly wanted to focus on guys who either didn't get to play in a bowl game or didn't get to play in any kind of tournament.
Nice. All right, thanks for your call, Stephen from Virginia.
Later, guys.
Later. And welcoming back on Up Tempo, Grayson Grundy for Grayson. So nice to see you, man. I missed you.
I missed you too. Let's try this again. Is it better?
Oh, that's beautiful. I can hear you loud and clear. Let's start here, Grayson, because before we go back into recruiting, I got a question for you. Stephen from Virginia asks, are there any athletes from 94 to 07 in Baylor football that you wish were maybe more hyped. Joe Pavelich and Aaron Bruce were Stephen from Virginia's.
So I don't know if y'all saw this back in, it must have been this, I don't know, March or something. We did a big draft, and it was kind of, you drafted any Baylor player you wanted. It was a lot of fun. We did on the board, and you built a team out of those players. So, people were bringing up guys from, the 50s, like an All-American in the 50s. And the discussion was, that guy couldn't play now, but how do you judge it, to now? My team was actually Joe Pavelich. So yeah, I guess he's on that list. He was kind of slow though for today's game. I don't know how well that would translate, but he was a tackling machine. CJ Rogers, who played, or not CJ Rogers, that's the quarterback commit, but I'm trying to remember his name, but I have bad memory with former Baylor players because I grew up a Texas fan. So, I know it's tough, right? But so I know more of those guys on the old school side, but I know a lot of the Baylor guys a lot more so from, about 2012 till now. They'd probably make a bigger, someone else would probably answer that question a little bit better.
How about this too, Grayson? Keith. Keith says, why is Grayson not embracing Jersey Day?
I didn't know it was Jersey Day. I have a bunch of jerseys too. I probably would have pulled out, let me think, what would I have worn? The best jersey I got is a UCLA Reggie Miller, I think.
Wow. And you could have pulled it out, and you decided you opted not to. Scotty B, the Baylor King. Man, Grayson, you come on the show for like 7 minutes, and everybody's blowing me up right here. This guy's a fan favorite. I love it. Scotty B, the Baylor King says, anything on Shamar Pearl, because he hasn't signed anywhere.
Yeah, Shamar Pearl, I've actually gotten, I feel like, questions about him quite a bit, but I don't think Baylor's really interested because they weren't interested, before he committed to, I believe, Missouri it was, like you said. They really didn't show a ton of interest in him. So I still don't think they really are at this moment. They're just so focused on the offensive line that it makes it hard. It really has to be someone that they think is just a superstar and a potential NFL draft prospect. And I'm not sure if Shamar fits that mold.
So I know we were going through a little bit of recruiting across the country and across the conference from signing day. What was your team that maybe built momentum or surprised you this week?
Yeah, so I was getting into talking about Texas A&M a little bit. And I know no one wants to hear about A&M. Yeah. Obviously, it's not the greatest topic, but they have a ton of momentum right now. It's insane, the class that they just built for 2021. And then, of course, they also landed one of the best quarterbacks in the state today, Connor Weigman out of Bridgeland, who is actually a priority guy for Baylor as well. So they've been a real story and headline for me. I think they're probably going to land another 2021 commit who has a Baylor offer probably sometime in the next day or two. I'm referring to Jordan Moko, who's a JUCO prospect. I think A&M's probably in good position to land him as well. So they've been killing it, and they're definitely the storyline that I've been following the most, especially in the state of Texas.
Anybody in the Big 12 right now that you're really liking, especially after signing day?
Well, it's hard not to like Oklahoma's class. They always do a really nice job recruiting, and they have an inside track on a lot of the top guys in the state pretty much every year. I'm not in love with Texas's class. I think Oklahoma's is significantly better, which has been the case for a few years now, in my opinion. And then if you look at some of the other classes, though, in the state, I like what TCU did. They seem to always kind of have that sneaky, underrated class. I think that they did a nice job. They added some guys that I think can help them in the future. So they did well. And I also think West Virginia, kind of sneaky, but they did pretty good on the offensive line. And I think they got some guys who really fit what they're trying to build up in Morgantown.
Along with that, is there any team that maybe lost signing day this week that you thought, man, tough break for those guys?
Yeah, I think, that's just one of those things where I'm just evaluating based on they need more talent on their roster. And so for Kansas, they needed to make even more moves. But again, that's the toughest part with no JUCO season. It's hard to really blame Kansas because at this point, in the signing periods, I mean, if you didn't do your damage early as a smaller school, then you were kind of left just kind of sitting out on this one, because you have to remember, if you have a top prospect in your class and they don't sign with you, then there's a chance that they can flip as the process moves on. And that happened to a few guys in the class. And then also you just have your high priority guys, like an LJ Johnson or like a Keith Ron Lee, who kind of wait and then they make their decision on this day. But usually it's not the smaller schools that come up happy at the end of the day.
Anything else on the Baylor side, maybe, Grayson, that people need to be looking out for? Maybe even not with this signing class, but next year's that has happened since we talked to you last?
Yeah, so I mean, we talked about this on Tuesday, but Justice O out of UNLV, he got an offer yesterday, and he posted his offer. So the UNLV grad transfer now officially does have a Baylor offer. I've been mentioning him a ton. He's got a lot of interest from the staff. I know Coach Mateos and Coach Grimes have been in contact with him. So he's definitely a name to keep an eye on if you're a Baylor fan. And I think he'd be able to come in and contribute right away. And he'd also have 2 years, which is very ideal, in my opinion, for a grad transfer. As far as the other areas of this class, the 2022 class is going to take some time, I think. They might be able to land a commit here or there, but I will tell you, camps are coming up in March. And those camps are going to be very important because a big priority for this Baylor staff, and it was for the previous one, was testing times and measurables. And that camp in March, which is basically going to be the entire state of Texas, there at one single camp, they're going to get tons of times and measurements. And I think that's really going to narrow down who they actually want in this class. And then also kind of add some more hidden gems that test really well that maybe they try to get on a little bit later in the process.
I like it. All right, Andrew Robertson is in with us in studio today. Andrew, if you'll man your post, I think we're about to do some SicEm Pick'em action. Grayson, if you're in on that.
Let's do it.
All right, so today's SicEm Pick'em, JD and I kind of ran down this earlier in the show. Kind of the trend that we've gotten into is we do some SicEm Pick'em stuff early on, and then we really work our way back into it later on for a little bit more in-depth discussion and analysis for folks at home that may have some Monopoly money in on these games. And where I want to start is at 1 o'clock. There's a 1 o'clock game today. It takes place in 10 minutes between SIU Edwardsville and Tennessee State. So these two teams have played before. Once this season, SIU Edwardsville getting the win. They were 3.5-point dogs on the road. They won by 1 or 2. Obviously it's tough to pick mid-majors, especially with COVID going on. SIU, this is their third game in 4 days, I think. So it's going to be a tough stretch. They're playing an NBA-like schedule at this point. But is there anything that jumps out first for you, Andrew, in this one?
Well, what jumps out to me is that Tennessee State's getting points when they've only won 3 games. SIU's won 6. Both these teams have lost their last 2, but if I had to pick, I'd take SIU money line.
SIU is at home in that one. I like the money line too. So my Monopoly money fraternity brother pool has it at even right now. I'll pick them, but I like SIU Edwardsville. Grayson, have you seen anything in that one that would tell you differently?
Sounds about right to me. I think that would be the safe play.
I like it, especially that one is at home for SIU Edwardsville. I like that game, and I think I'll go ahead and put my Monopoly money on SIU Edwardsville today. Outside of that, we'll go ahead and move into what I think is the biggest game today and maybe the toughest one to pick with it, Iowa and Ohio State. Iowa playing at home. I've got them 5.5-point favorites right now against Ohio State. A top 10 matchup, but I really, really like Ohio State at plus 5.5. Grayson, I don't know if you've looked at any of these games today or have anything riding today, but do you have any thoughts?
Yeah, no, I'm the complete opposite. I like Iowa today. Mm-hmm.
Really?
I think Iowa's going to cover. I think that they get this home matchup. I think this is one that's kind of been circled. They haven't been playing as well recently, but I think they're going to cover this 5.5.
Let me give you a stat here. Iowa's 15-2 against the spread in their last 17 after the spread loss, or against the spread loss. So they are covering if they lose against the spread, and 15 out of 2 with their last 17.
Trends. Looking at trends right now, Iowa's been inconsistent. Ohio State has won now 3 games in a row. And they've been tight games. But one of those on the road, they won at Wisconsin by 12. Then Iowa really struggled with Michigan State. They've lost 2 out of the last 3. I don't know in that one. My gut says Ohio State plus 5.5, but it could go either way. It's a tough one. I will not pick that game. Let me put it like that. Outside of that, we'll move back into some of the mid-majors, which are tougher to pick. If given the option for a Radford, South Carolina State money line, I like the money line for Radford tonight. I know it's kind of an obscure game. Grayson, tell me, are you able to look at these games while we're on Zoom with you?
Yeah, I'm looking at it. Radford 11-7, South Carolina State 3-11. I see a 9-point spread.
Yeah.
I think I would take Radford to cover that. South Carolina Upstate they're not very good, I don't think.
No, they're not.
I agree. I think Radford could cover. I like that to be a money line. Say you find a 2 or 3 team parlay that you're really enjoying and you want to throw Radford into the money line.
Yeah.
Here's the thing for me. They kept it close. South Carolina Upstate kept it close against Hampton. They only lost by 10. That's too close for comfort for a game against Radford. And then they lost to Hampton by 1. Now, Hampton is 4th in the Big South, so they're not bad at all. Granted, Radford's a little bit better, but I don't know right now. South Carolina Upstate looks like they play better in the first game of those doubleheaders, but also here's what I didn't see. South Carolina Upstate has not played a game since January 15th. Mm-hmm. On the back end of that, Radford has not played since January 25th. So both of these teams are shaking off rust. What does that tell you, Andrew?
Well, what sticks out to me most in this game is the line at 131. If you look at these teams' scores, they're consistently scoring around 70 points each. So if I had to put a play on that, I'd probably take the over. But on your point about they haven't played in a while, which makes me a little bit hesitant on that line of 131, I didn't even see they hadn't played in a while, so that's huge.
I didn't either. That one right there, again, I like the money line on Radford. These guys are liking the spread with that. Then another one that we talked about a little bit. Pac-12 games have been so tough this year. But Arizona, they are 1.5-point dogs at Utah tonight. Utah has struggled this season. But Arizona, they're coming off of a loss against Stanford. What do we think? I guess they're coming off of a loss against Stanford, then a win against Cal. What do we think about Arizona going on the road?
I got them covering. I think they cover that 1.5-point spread. I think they're the better team. I don't think Utah's very good, and Arizona's looking to rebound as well. So I'm going to go with Arizona.
It's basically a pick 'em here. You just have to choose the better team. 13-4 versus 7-7. They are on the road, but Utah's inconsistent. They're win-loss, and Arizona's won 4 of their last 5. So I'd take the momentum.
The reason I agree, Utah, while they have been win-loss, they have been in their last 3 on the road. They won 2 out of 3 against porous teams, but they lost at a really bad Washington team. The last time they were at home, January 16th, they lost to Cal, and Cal is bad. I like Arizona in a money line, which is, like you said, it's effectively a pick 'em tonight. Anything? So, Andrew, I'm going to pass this over to you. What's another game that you like?
Well, I think we got to talk about Gonzaga against Pacific. It's just because they're the number 1 team in the country. I have a stat. Gonzaga's overs in their last 18 away is 14-4. So maybe just look at the over in that game.
Grayson?
Yeah, I agree with that, but I got one more game that I think it's a little bold just because the line is pretty big, but Eastern Washington versus Idaho.
Yeah.
15-point spread, but Idaho is 0-13. Give me Eastern Washington to cover that 15-point spread.
I love that. Eastern Washington coming off of a huge win against Sac State. I had the Sac State +9 in that reluctantly. Eastern Washington's playing pretty well right now, and Idaho hasn't won a game yet this year. They haven't sniffed within 15 of a team since January 16th. I think you're exactly right with that. Eastern Washington with a win against Idaho today. Another one that I'm really looking at, even though it is on the road, Idaho, looking at Idaho's schedule in their last 5, they've played 4 straight home games, and still they're not sniffing within 15 of a team. I like Eastern Washington in that. Their last matchup, too, is against Weber State, who is not as good as Eastern Washington by any means whatsoever. Another one that I want to bring up, this is another mid-major that I liked, Murray State and Morehead State. Murray, they're 3-point favorites at home, 10-2 in their conference against Murray State, who's just 5-6 in the conference on the road tonight. I like Morehead State to cover. They've won 5 straight by 19, 22, 11, and 14. Give me Morehead State all day long.
Yeah, you touched on it. They're hot. They're the hot team. They got the hot hand. They're a 3-point underdog, and they're 13-6. A little bit disrespectful. I love Moorhead here.
A lot of it disrespectful. I concur. Grayson, have you looked at that one at all? Oh yeah, it's a Murray State. Murray State's favored. So give me +3 Moorhead without a doubt.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that sounds the way I would go as well. I haven't looked. Based on what y'all said, I think that's the side I would lean.
Then BYU Portland. I might stay away from that one. BYU in their last game, they did not cover. They went to double overtime against Pacific. They're not a very hot team right now. They're kind of struggling through their schedule. I don't like them +19 against Portland.
No.
Even though Portland's not playing very well, they're not good, and BYU beat them pretty handedly a couple of games ago. I don't know that BYU. I don't trust them after double overtime with Pacific.
The money line on BYU is -2,800, so I wouldn't even look at this game. Like, why even put it in a parlay? It's not even going to help you.
Jeez. Grayson, this might be another one you may not have looked at too much.
Yeah, I haven't looked too much at that one either, but I do have another one for y'all that I am kind of riding a little bit because it's essentially a pick'em. But Montana on the road.
Okay.
Montana's -1, but I think they're gonna go win that game, and I think they're gonna win by more than one, so therefore they're gonna cover. So I like the Grizz.
Man, how about last night? Let's look a little bit at last night and what went down. I know we missed that earlier in the show talking about it, but I had a couple of parlays in play. Oh
yeah.
J.D. Pickell told me Houston -16.5 was a lock. He said the word lock. Grayson, Houston lost by 9 to ECU. Did you watch that one?
I didn't watch it, but I know Houston has been hot recently, so I don't blame him for going that direction. But Houston did not play well last night, and that spread was pretty big in the first place.
I had flipping Florida. Listen to this. This is a 3-team parlay. Ugh, I'm the worst. Houston -16.5. Florida money line. Literally the one thing that should just have happened. South Carolina was coming off of a loss on the road to Vanderbilt, and they won at Florida. Gosh darn you, Frank Martin. And then I had Virginia Tech -3.5. They lost outright as well. That was not a very good parlay last night. Andrew,
no, that Florida team's one of the most inconsistent in the country, guys. They beat West Virginia, and then they come out and lay an egg. I mean, it's just that you don't know what to expect from them. It feels like win, loss, domino effect all year for them.
I rallied my gumption, too. I went with a 5-team, $15 for like a $230 Monopoly money payout. And because it's just Monopoly money, I can spend as much as I want. Florida money line. That didn't hit. I had East Tennessee State +125 money line. It hit.
Yep.
Chattanooga +1.5. It hit. Those were both big chances. And then St. John's +9.5. It hit. The only things that didn't hit: Florida money line and freaking Oklahoma State -4.5. I can't emphasize it enough. How do you lose to TCU? How?
It was unbelievable. I actually got to watch that game, and it just didn't play well. They weren't shooting the ball well, and Cade Cunningham went up for a layup and just whiffed it at the end, and TCU took advantage of that and made the last-second shot. Unbelievable.
Cade Cunningham is not as good at basketball as I thought he was.
He let us down last night.
He is proving that to me. Grayson, have you been impressed at all with Cade Cunningham?
Yes, guys.
Let's calm down with
the overreaction. Cade Cunningham is a very, very talented player. He's going to be a top 5 pick, in my opinion. Yeah. I really like him, and I think he's definitely helped in changing the culture a little bit at Oklahoma State. But they still have a lot of problems winning on the road, and that's just that. I mean, that happens a lot in the Big 12, and but they seem to be looking like they're figuring at least some things out.
Then I had another one. I had Oklahoma State first half -2, Virginia money line, St. John's +9.5. Virginia and St. John's both hit. Freaking Oklahoma State's the best first half team in the country. They were up 3 with like 30 seconds to go. And man, here comes TCU. They tied it up at the half. That one didn't hit. Tough night for the Monopoly Money banker. Very happy. Very good night for him.
I think the most impressive pick he made was St. John's, and they crushed Villanova number 3 yesterday.
Loved
which is unbelievable.
St. John's last night. Yeah. Oh, the separation that Baylor's gained in college basketball now with Villanova going down at 3, Houston going down at 5, COVID stint for Michigan at 4. The number 6 team lost last night, if I remember correctly. Who's 6 right now?
Texas is 6.
Texas got jacked by Baylor.
Yep.
And then you got number 7 and 8 are playing tonight, so somebody's going down in that one.
Mm-hmm.
Baylor and Gonzaga are now creating the utmost separation with everybody else in the country.
Yep, league of their own.
League of their own. Grayson, is there anybody else that could win a national championship? I'd be so surprised.
Guys, of course there's someone else that can win a national championship. Weird things happen. Teams get hot. You know how that can work. But if the tournament was a 3-game series, no other teams winning it outside of Baylor and Gonzaga. But since it's one game, someone on Baylor or Gonzaga were to get hurt in the tournament and they lose that one game, I mean, it can definitely happen. We've seen it year after year, it feels like.
This is a great year for Drake or Morehead State or Eastern Kentucky to make a run, or Belmont. I love Belmont right now, to make a run all the way to the Sweet 16 and it not be surprising. You could have 4 teams in the Sweet 16 this year that are mid-majors, and I would be like, yeah.
I love the diversity. I love seeing new teams get into the tournament, make a run. Like Yale last year won their first game. I just love seeing teams that aren't Power 5, aren't blue bloods make runs.
I don't want to talk about Yale in the NCAA tournament. Yeah. I haven't gotten over it. All right, Grace, we're going to hit a commercial break, and when we come back, we're going to play some highlights of the first month of Up-Tempo, and, we're going to maybe try to do that. What we're going to do, though, we have Kim Mulkey and Armstrong?
Well, I was going to say, should we take advantage of the fact that we have these 2 amazing people with us?
Yeah, but are we not going to celebrate the 1-month anniversary?
We can.
Yeah. I really want. I was sentimental to me. It holds value in my heart.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. We're going to hit a break, though. We'll come back with Grayson and Andrew and talk a little bit more Baylor basketball, break down the women's basketball game tonight. I'm Drake Toll. It's Armstrong Sims, Andrew Robertson. We're joined by Grayson Grunday for Jack McKenzie's in here. Colt Barber's also putting some stuff on the wall. This is Up-Tempo.
Brady throws, end zone. He's got Evans for the touchdown.
Super Bowl 55 in Tampa, Florida, and SicEm365 Radio will be live at NFL Media Headquarters and Radio Row later today from 3 until 6. Hi, this is David Smoak. Join Paul, Catalina, and me for daily news and notes on the Buccaneers and Chiefs, interviews with players, coaches, and personalities.
The presenting sponsor of Super Bowl 55 coverage from Tampa, Florida on SicEm365 Radio is Marco's Pizza, pizza for pizza lovers, with locations in Woodway, China Spring, and Belmead.
Here's Mahomes. Look at underhanded. He throws it for the touchdown. How about that throw?
Little underhand.
Also brought to you by IdealMRI.com, Texas Farm Bureau Insurance, Waco Custom Marketplace, Boozer's Jewelers, Stonewood Dental, Richard Carr Buick GMC Cadillac.
Here's the fake toss. Able to get away and find Hill at the 35-30. Hill inside the 20.
Edward Jones Financial Advisors, Petty Clinic Low T, Pioneer Steel and Pipe, Southwest Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, Allen Samuels Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat, and Impact Health Labs.
Brady goes for the deep shot. He's got a touchdown! Scotty Miller!
Buccaneers and Chiefs in Super Bowl 55 in Tampa, and we're live later today, 3 until 6 from NFL Media Headquarters on SicEm365 Radio.
At Baylor University, students can shine in their own way. Or should we say their own ways? Because there's no limit to the ways Baylor students make the world a brighter place. Whether they're leading a student organization or following a higher calling, getting advice from faculty, or taking part in world-class research, pursuing their dreams, or working toward their dream job, students find their place to shine at Baylor, where lights shine bright.
Riverbend Liquor and Wine has their easy-to-access drive-thru open and convenient and clean in-store location on the corner of Lakeshore Drive and North 19th Street in Waco. Riverbend Liquor has the best and most extensive variety of craft beer selections in Waco, and Balcones Whiskey, including single malt, pot still, baby blue, rye, brimstone, and the all-new Lineage in stock. Riverbend Liquor and Wine, family-owned and operated, and a hidden gem in Waco on Lakeshore Drive and 19th Street. And find out more on Facebook and Instagram.
From the first workout to the last practice, sports is an incredible challenge. Hi, this is Dan Engel with the First National Bank of Central Texas, and we're proud to support each athlete, every parent, and our educators. From families, small businesses, to the biggest industry, we're here to help. With remarkable products like instant issue debit cards free at all of our banking centers, we've got banking ideas that fuel big dreams. The First National Bank of Central Texas. Familiar faces making local decisions.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Let Camille Johnson Realtors guide you seamlessly through the process of buying your dream home or selling your current one. Commercial, farm and ranch, or residential, Camille Johnson Realtors can smoothly and successfully lead you through any transaction. With a team of 28 experienced agents who are excited about serving you, Camille Johnson Realtors services the entire greater Waco area. If you're in the market to buy or sell, contact Camille Johnson Realtors, 104 Midway Center in Woodway, or find them online at www.camillejohnson.com. Camille Johnson Realtors, elegant, charming, warm. Welcome home.
Waco Custom Marketplace is your home for holiday favorites for parties and the time with family. Various specials available in-store and online. A variety of steak gift boxes with 4 ribeyes for $70, 4 bacon wrap fillets for $55, or 4 New York strips for $50, and all come with steak butter. Fall snack box for watching a game or wrapping presents or hosting people at your house, including summer sausage, split horn, and jalapeno cheese, and salted crackers for only $35. 2 pieces of lobster tails with herb butter and 2 bacon wrap fillets for $60. Order online or call in advance to ensure availability, or drop by Waco Custom Marketplace at 425 Lake Air Drive. Waco Custom Marketplace has a full-service butcher shop for customized orders or cuts of your favorite steaks or beef tenderloin or specially ordered prime rib roast. Plus, what you want with pork, poultry, seafood, and more. Waco Custom Marketplace, 425 Lake Air Drive in Waco, or WacoCustomMarketplace.com.
Welcome back to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio. Here's Drake Toll.
Welcome back at Up Tempo. I'm Drake Toll in the Petty Clinic Low T Bears Den. Armstrong Sims, Zach McKenzie, Jack McKenzie. Yeah, I knew. I didn't. He had his headphones in. Andrew Robertson, Colt Barber, and Grayson Grundafer are all with us right now. Grayson, so here's what we'll move to tonight with Baylor women's basketball in action at home against Kansas. Do you have anything written down for that or an outlook on today's ball game?
Expectation is that the Lady Bears are going to come out there and get a win. I think that should be the expectation. I think we're going to start to see a little bit of momentum start building for this women's basketball team, even more so than it already has. But I think that win is a huge one. And now I think that there's just some sort of momentum that I think is going to be gained from that. And I expect them to come out and probably win this game by, at least 20. I'm really expecting that. I think Baylor's women's basketball team is ready to take that step forward and prove that, they're a contender for a Final Four.
Andrew, I don't know if you have kept up with Baylor women's basketball. I'm sorry. I got to watch them in action against Oklahoma not too long ago, and I thought they looked pretty good, really good against Oklahoma from an offensive standpoint, a rebounding standpoint. They were unconscious. I think Baylor's hitting their stride right now, especially after a win at Iowa State.
Yeah, there's a bit of a resurgence going on with this Baylor team after a loss on the 16th, and Kansas women's basketball team is bad, very bad. They've lost 4 of their last 5. They lost to Oklahoma State by almost 30. So, this should be a statement win for Baylor. Just, turn some heads, maybe win by 40. Who knows?
I like it. I like the call. How about this? Andrew, I'm going to give you a chance. We're going to get back into the women's basketball game here in a second and talk a little bit more about that. But, Andrew, I want to give you a shot. You sent us a message in the chat over some things that you liked, some trends that you liked with basketball games. And I just kind of, what do you see for tonight's games? A little bit, words. A small recap of Sick and Pick'em.
Sure. Well, one game that we didn't touch on that I think we would be the Minnesota game tonight, because Minnesota is 0-6 against the spread as a road underdog. So if you're trying to bet your Monopoly money, I would definitely invest it against Minnesota. They're horrible against the spread as an underdog, so I would definitely invest in that. What do you think about that one?
Yeah, that's a good one. I was actually looking at that one as well. And I think that one makes a lot of sense. And Minnesota's coming off of, I believe, a big win over someone. I'm forgetting who it was, but I think they might be due for a downfall type game.
Yeah, it could be a letdown spot. for them, exactly. Rutgers isn't exactly a good team either, and they're projected to kill Minnesota. They're 10-6. Minnesota's 11-6, but I think it could be a letdown spot for Minnesota, as they are. So yeah, the stat: 0-6 against the spread in their last 6 as a road underdog, and Minnesota unders are 7-1 in their last 8. So maybe under and fade Minnesota tonight.
Wow. Yeah, I can definitely see that. I think that's probably a good spot to pick. And, the Big Ten is just so competitive this year. The depth in that league is insane. I'm not sure that the top end of the conference is as good as the depth is. I mean, when you're talking about Rutgers might finish, 8th or 9th in that conference, maybe even worse. You got a pretty good league.
Yeah, it's just a totally different brand of basketball than the Big 12. When you watch Big 12 basketball and then you switch to watching Big 10, they're completely different games. They're played completely differently. That's why I'm very excited for the tournament this year. Another game I had was the Stanford. Take the Stanford over. That's 7-1-1 in their last 9. So they are a team that can score. They're a team that can go through your defense. Stanford over. I wouldn't touch the line, but that Stanford game, that over is very appealing to me.
Yeah, and Cal at 7-12. They've been terrible. 5.5 points really is not that much. I think Stanford's just a better team in that matchup. And if you've looked at what Stanford has done kind of throughout the year until that letdown game against Arizona State, they've been pretty consistent. So I guess for a Pac-12 team, they've been consistent, which really isn't saying much.
Yeah, the Pac-12 has been very inconsistent this season, to say the least. One more stat I have is Washington State. Their overs are 8-2 in their last 10 away. So I would definitely look into that game. They're scoring really well on the road. And again, it's another Pac-12 inconsistent game, but they are scoring well when away.
Yeah, an 11-point favorite for Oregon. That's a lot of points. But I think Oregon's probably the better team, and you're probably right. I mean, if they're giving Oregon 11, that means they're probably thinking Oregon's going to put up some points in this matchup, which helps that over-under part of the equation there. Right. So, yeah, could be a pretty high-scoring game.
Yeah. The line only being 135 makes me want to slam that over, especially because of the recent stat I just ran off. I think if I was going to pick one of these more stats that I got up, it'd be Cal over. I think that works. So Stanford plays Cal. Am I right on that?
Yeah. Yes, I believe.
Okay. So Stanford would be 7-1-1 in their last 9 on overs, and Cal is 6-1 at home in their last overs. So both these teams are scoring. I think that's going to be my pick of the day. Is that over with Stanford and Cal?
Wow, pick of the day. That's your lock.
I think if I had to give a lock, at gunpoint, I'm giving you Stanford Cal over.
Okay, I like that one. Mine is that Montana-Portland State game. Montana just is one of those teams that is always pretty good. They always seem to be a tournament team every year, winning their conference. So give me that basically pick-em game on the road against 4-8 Portland State. I think Montana, that's one you should definitely take, and hopefully I'm not wrong tomorrow.
Yeah. I mean, it'd be very tough if I come on tomorrow and my pick of the day is it loses. I think that pick has to be a lock. What do you think? What do you think, Drake?
Yeah, I like that one.
Yeah.
I agree. I think what the numbers would show is that it would be, but in a COVID year, anything can happen. I have learned that there is almost no consistency right now with COVID and what it's done to basketball from a pick'em standpoint. Did want to let you guys know the Tennessee State game is on against SIU Edwardsville right now. Edwardsville is up 9-7. Did you know? Remember, you guys remember that video of the guy that's like passes it to the man and boom goes the dynamite?
Yeah.
Brian Collins is his name. I've been trying to get him on the show. Twitter, do your thing. And the head coach of Tennessee State is also named Brian Collins. So there's your fun fact of the day. Tonight, Baylor women's basketball against Kansas. Tomorrow, men's tennis against Oklahoma. And then the men's tennis team plays again against UT Tyler. Wow. Two really, really contrasted matchups there. You go from Oklahoma to UT Tyler. Then Scotty B, the Baylor King, sends a message in and says, big men's tennis match tomorrow against Oklahoma at 1 p.m. OU is receiving votes. And then, of course, a match against number 9 Texas A&M on Sunday at 3 p.m. is big as well. And then Baylor women's tennis plays Texas A&M on Sunday in College Station at 1. So we do want to bring up that Sunday matchup in tennis is a big one because the winner of that goes the ITA Indoor National Championship later this spring. So if they beat Texas A&M in Dallas. Number 9 A&M, I think Baylor's up to 4 now. Number 4 Baylor. That will send Baylor to the ITA Indoor National Championships. Women's basketball plays at Kansas State on Sunday. It is it's a great slate this weekend. Track is the Texas Tech shootout. No way. That's wrong. That is wrong. No way.
Wow.
Track is at the Texas. No. Track is not an action this weekend that I can see. But men's basketball, TCU on Saturday.
Right,
Equestrian is against number 7 TCU. That one's in Waco at 11 a.m. this weekend. So, hey, go to the equestrian meet. Go from the equestrian meet to TCU and men's basketball in Waco at 3 p.m. And then women's tennis at A&M on Sunday. Like I said, women's basketball at Kansas State, and the men's tennis number 9 A&M. Getting into a little bit of the slate tonight with women's basketball and Kansas. It's a Kansas team that's not very good, guys. They're not very good. I think it's going to be another really good pick-me-up game for the Lady Bears. Grayson, from what you have seen, though, is there one player that sets Baylor apart from the rest of the country right now in women's basketball?
Ooh, I mean, there's no way that I can answer that question without saying Melissa Smith. I mean, she's phenomenal. She seems to be kind of hitting her stride a little bit, too. I know early in the year she had struggles for her. She's still playing really well, but there were some struggles that she was having, and you could tell, but she's definitely turned that page, and she's a girl who can be absolutely dominant at times. And when you watch her skill set is so unique. I remember going to the Final Four, I guess this was 2 years ago now. And Melissa Smith had a run in there in that national championship game where you just saw the glimpses of, wow, this could be one of the best, Lady Bears of all time. And so I'm ready for her to really make a run and really put this team on her back to an extent. I know it's a very good team, but she needs to be the dominant force that she was recruited to be, and that I think we all know she can be. It just is all about consistency for her, but she's definitely the one that you have to start with when you talk about Lady Bears basketball.
Yeah, I think you definitely start with Melissa Smith, Naismith Player of the Year. She's been named as a finalist. I guess it's semifinalist. They're at their top 20, I believe, and she has been named to that list. And then I think Dejanay Carrington is the piece that really brings the team together. They've needed that. Without her, they have struggled, but she is back now. So I'm excited to see what Dejanay Carrington is able to continue to bring to the table now that she's back. Andrew, is there a certain player for you on Baylor's team that really seems like the X factor right now?
I guess I would look more to the intangible leadership, and I think Moon Urson has she's a senior. She brings leadership, and that's kind of what this team needs. There's not a lot of older players in this team from what I'm looking at right here, and so I feel like senior leaders are really important to bring this team together, and I like the way she plays.
Yeah, you also have news that just broke on the soccer side of things for Baylor. They went 3-3-3, finished 5th in the Big 12 standings this past fall. Their spring slate has been announced. They will play their first match on Saturday, February 27th in Waco. They're going to have 5 matches in Waco in this spring slate, trying to make a push for the postseason. They're going to start their season against Texas A&M at home. They'll go to TCU the following week. And then it's Texas in Waco, LSU in Waco, Missouri in Tulsa, Louisiana at home, at Oklahoma, and then Texas Tech at home. That is the Baylor soccer slate for this spring that has just been dropped. Fan attendance will be limited to 300. And there'll be a Legacy Club pass list, reservations, and different ways to get tickets for those. Tickets will be available. Claim them by emailing Emmett_Flores@Baylor.edu, and you will be able to inquire about tickets for the soccer team and their slate this fall. Paul Jobson, man, we love Paul Jobson. He gave us his little soccer ball over there. Him and his squad kicking things off. Grayson, you a big soccer guy?
I like soccer a little bit. I'm actually really excited because there's going to be a new soccer team here in Austin in a couple years. And so that's going to be pretty fun. But I followed the women's soccer team a little bit. More so, I follow, the tennis team a lot, the baseball team a lot. But yeah, I mean, Coach Jobson seems like a great coach, and he was great when he was on with y'all during, his interview with you guys.
Oh, spectacular. Big Paul Jobson fans here at Uptempo. Andrew, you look like a soccer guy.
Yeah, I played a little bit of soccer in my day.
Yeah, you did.
But as far as the women's season coming up, I mean, obviously I'm going to watch a little bit of it, but I can't say I have a ton of precursor knowledge on them. I mean, go Baylor. I want them to win, but other than that, I really don't know that much about them.
Also, this Riverbend Liquor and Wine text line for you, Grayson. Got another text in asking about recruiting from my man.
Grayson's not on anymore.
What did you do to him?
He has disappeared.
You terminated his call?
Wow.
Zoom did because we're not premium.
What?
It had gone on 40 minutes.
Oh, wow.
That's a real thing now?
That's a real thing. If you go over 40 minutes on Zoom, so we'll get him back on here.
Wow.
So save the question.
I did not know that. That is news to me. Add Zoom to my bus list for this week. Freaking Bears and bus. Zoom not over 40 minutes. That's gonna suck. I have a 5-hour Zoom call tonight. Like it's a fraternity.
I hope you have premium.
I don't have Zoom Premium.
Well, you might have to pay for premium.
I haven't upgraded yet.
Zoom up premium, baby.
How much does Zoom Premium run you?
Yeah, how much?
I don't know. I think if it's a meeting between two people, just two people, you can go unlimited. But if you have more than two people, it's a 40-minute limit.
Wow. Yeah. If you have more than two, you said?
Yeah.
I've got like 35. It's a fraternity meeting tonight. It's like 100 people on a Zoom call.
So if you make it, keep it within 40 minutes. Or what you can do is just start a meeting, and at 30 minutes, end that meeting and start a new one and send them all the link, and then everyone will just jump back on.
When did this start?
This has to be new.
This is not new.
You know what, though? You know what it is?
This is not new.
But we have Baylor Zoom.
That you might have unlimited then.
Yeah, that might be it.
Yeah, Baylor probably because the teachers, the Zoom classes
that might be
last
it.
The classes last over 40 minutes.
That might be it.
Nice.
Happens.
Outside of soccer, again, soccer released their slate today. We're talking recruiting with Grayson Grundafer. He's on today. Andrew Robertson's in studio. Just broke down a little bit of tonight's, the slate tonight in college basketball. Let's go ahead and do a score prediction. Andrew, what do you see your score prediction for tonight being on the Baylor women's basketball side?
Well, earlier in the show, I did say win by 40, so I'm going to go with 85 to 48. Statement win.
85-48. Jeez. And then I'm going to go Baylor 78, Kansas 56. I think 22-point win at home is going to be solid tonight. I don't think it'll be close. Probably 22-point game at halftime, then it just grows from there. Armstrong, final score prediction for tonight's Baylor women's basketball game.
Don't got one. 86-52.
There you go. That's huge. What is that, 34 points? Yeah,
34 points.
We're right there. We're right there.
I don't know, 80? You think you're putting up 86 points tonight?
That could win.
Wow. At home. I mean, they play well at home. They score. You score better at home. We have Grayson on yet?
We don't. I don't know where he is.
Wow. We lost him out in the Zoom sphere.
We did lose him in the Zoom sphere.
Bust of the week Zoom.
Wow. All right, here's what we're going to do. We'll go ahead and take it to a break right here and then bring it back, hopefully with Grayson Grundafer. And let's see. I've got we have Armstrong's Minute queued up?
We do.
All right.
Always do.
Always do. I like that. And then a little bit of Topgolf action. But I'm Drake Toll. That's Armstrong Sims, Andrew Robertson, Jack McKenzie, and then Colt Barber. We'll be joined by Grayson Grundafer again coming up after this break. This is Up Tempo. Tee it up at McLean Stadium this winter as Topgolf Live takes over Waco. Topgolf Live brings the Topgolf experience to iconic stadiums around the country and will be held at McLean Stadium February 25th through February 28th. Join us for a once-in-a-lifetime experience as you take golf swings from the concourse of McLean Stadium. In addition to offering friendly competition, Topgolf Live transforms this iconic venue to create a truly unique event. Create memories with your friends, family, or coworkers this March when you choose the Topgolf Live Stadium Tour for your private parties. Special safety protocols will be implemented throughout the event to ensure Topgolf Live offers a healthy and safe environment to players. Topgolf Live tickets are on sale now at www.topgolflive.com. www.topgolflive.com. Now book your tee times today as tickets are limited for this once-in-a-lifetime in-stadium golf experience. Premium packages are available as well. For more information on premium packages or to purchase your tickets today, please visit www.topgolflive.com or call 214-501-1320.
It was an absolutely insane night in college basketball with major upsets occurring across the country. Starting in the top 10, number 3 Villanova was favored by double digits, but managed to fall against unranked St. John's 70-59. Thanks to Posh Alexander's 16. Number 5 Houston was a 16-point favorite at East Carolina, who previously had one win in American Conference play. Playing an improbable spoiler role, the Pirates led the whole game and won handedly 82-73. Number 15, Creighton fell at home to Georgetown, 86-79. 16th ranked Virginia Tech lost to Pittsburgh, 83-72. And number 22, Florida lost to South Carolina, 72-66 at home. Elsewhere, number 18, Missouri dropped Kentucky to 5-11 with a 75-70 win. Number 14, Virginia won at NC State, 64-57. Number 10, Alabama beat LSU, 78-60. And TCU upset Oklahoma State at home, 81-78. On the women's side, number 3, UConn handled St. John's 94-62. And number 21, West Virginia beat Iowa State, 65-56. In Baylor news, Aaliyah Miller and Casey Lightfoot of the men's and women's track and field teams have been named Big 12 Athletes of the Week. This is Lightfoot's league record 6th time to win the award. And equestrian's Madeline Calloway has been named the National Reigning Rider of the Month. I'm Armstrong Sims, and that's all the news that is news in college sports. This has been Armstrong's Minute on SicEm365 Radio's Up Tempo.
From the first workout to the last practice, sports is an incredible challenge. Hi, this is Dan Ingham with the First National Bank of Central Texas, and we're proud to support each athlete, every parent, and our educators. From families, small businesses, to the biggest industry, we're here to help. With remarkable products like First Free Checking, we've got banking ideas that fuel big dreams. The First National Bank of Central Texas. Familiar faces making local decisions.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Let Camille Johnson Realtors guide you seamlessly through the process of buying your dream home or selling your current one, commercial, farm and ranch, or residential. Camille Johnson Realtors can smoothly and successfully lead you through any transaction. With a team of 28 experienced agents who are excited about serving you, Camille Johnson Realtors services the entire greater Waco area. If you're in the market to buy or sell, contact Camille Johnson Realtors, 104 Midway Center in Woodway, or find them online at www.camillejohnson.com. Camille Johnson Realtors, elegant, charming, warm. Welcome home.
Bird Culchin Ford has been in Waco since 1936. Ford, the #1 selling truck in Texas, 43 years running. And Bird Culchin Ford proudly supports high school football in Central Texas. And no better way to tailgate with a Ford than from Bird Culchin Ford. And are there better vehicles to tailgate with than the Ford F-150 or the Ford Expedition? And of course, you can get them new, pre-owned Bird Culchin Ford. Our sponsor of the Ford Tough Player of the Week, locally owned dealership. Online at bkford.com at 1701 West Loop 340 in Waco. Bird Culchin Ford.
The holidays are here, and I have a simple question for you. Will you weigh as much more or less than you do right now when the holidays are over? Why not end the year in better shape than when you started and create momentum for 2021? Waco Regional Tennis and Fitness has numerous options for stocking stuffer gifts with gift cards for gym or tennis membership, fitness merchandise, tanning, massage, tennis lessons, and personal training. Perhaps a gift for a client, a family member, or a friend. You just need to walk through the front door to change your life. Waco Regional Tennis and Fitness with personal trainers Christy London and Randall Corley. 40-plus group exercise classes, including twice-a-week boot camp. Spacious, clean workout room, free weights, Cybex cardio equipment, and no intimidation. A tremendous camaraderie and family atmosphere. So get the best and healthiest Christmas gift you can for someone or yourself. It's time to react today, not tomorrow, at Waco Regional Tennis and Fitness on Lake Shore Drive in Waco.
Learning to navigate life in the COVID-19 world has been a struggle, and where and how to get tested has been one of the biggest challenges. Impact Health Labs has your answer. If you need mass testing for your office, church, dormitory, or school, Impact Health Labs is who to call. They will come to you, conduct the testing at your location, and have the test back within 24 hours. Most major insurance accepted, meaning your out-of-pocket cost is low. So no more waiting by the phone for days to find out the results. Impact Health Labs was founded by 3 Army licensed and credentialed medical professionals. They believe in accuracy, efficiency, and doing the job right. Call 254-744-6233 to set up your group screening today. Impact Health Labs, on-site, prompt, and accurate, taking COVID-19 head-on. Again, that number is 254-744-6233 or online at impacthealthlabs.com.
Welcome back to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio.
Welcome back into the Petty Clinic Low T Bears Den. I am Drake Toll alongside Armstrong Sims, Andrew Robertson, Jack McKenzie, and Colt Barber are doing the honeydews around the studio today, putting some stuff up. making the place look like home. Grayson Gruntaver is back on with us. Grayson, can you hear me?
Hear you.
Ah, beautiful. Welcome back on, Grayson. We got a call from Lane McCalmont. She starred in the show earlier today after saying that Soul was not a very good movie. Lane, you are on the Impact Health Labs caller line. Welcome on to Uptempo.
Thanks. So good to be here.
Lane, can you explain to me, first and foremost, your take on the movie Soul?
Really led on by the previews. It looked like it was going to be phenomenal, but it was just truly subpar, especially for Disney. They claimed that it was Inside Out, and honestly, the character development with the main character was just really lacking. And also, in my personal opinion, you shouldn't really leave movies open-ended for a sequel, and they did. So it's just not my favorite.
Wow.
I completely agree.
Yeah, our producer Armstrong agrees. Did you resonate with the message that the movie brought to the table?
Kind of, but I thought that at the end he'd be like, you know what? It's really important that I find what I love, but if it's not being band, then I'm okay being a teacher. But it just felt like he was like, no, I only want to do rock band and I don't really want to change my dream. So the message was kind of conflicting, honestly.
Thank you.
That's what Armstrong said.
My main thing was what message? It didn't have a central message.
Yeah. No, it didn't. And it was just with Inside Out, you could tell exactly what they were trying to get across. But with Soul, they had a really good idea. The execution just was not there for me.
Absolutely.
Wow.
I think Inside Out is the best Pixar movie ever made. And this was Soul trying to they were trying to replicate that, and it just fell right on its face.
It did. And they did have some relieving characters. Terry was super funny, and I thought 22 was also relatable. But I wish they would have done more with that character than just focusing on the main character. They had so much they could have done, and they just didn't really, fine tune it at all.
What was it? Was it 22? Was that the character's name?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was this other Soul.
Yeah, I felt like 22 should have been the main character. That's where the character arc existed.
Yeah, I completely agree.
Wow. You guys have a really good in-depth analysis of the movie Soul. I just thought it was a cute animated movie that Disney did well with.
Drake, maybe it's time to start thinking deeply about art you fill your life with.
I think deeply about movies that matter. I don't feel like Soul really matters. You know what? I just realized Grayson Gruntaver can't hear any of this.
No, he can't.
Grayson can't hear any of the call.
And we can't hear him either.
But okay.
It sounds like a great movie, guys, based on what y'all are saying.
I've been bashing it.
Disney is not giving us any prop for this. So Lane, that drives Lane. I watch a lot of your polls, and today you saying that Soul was a bad movie. I guess it was last night. Made that our question of the day on Uptempo today. What is the worst movie of all time? So I will give you what is truly the worst movie of all time.
I'd have to say Percy Jackson, The Lightning Thief.
Oh, whoa. Wow. Why is that?
Love it.
Okay, you've got to read the books before you watch the movies. That's my hot take. And if you read Percy Jackson and then watch the movie, it is nothing like the book. They had a whole new plot. The characters looked different than they were supposed to be. It was just so trash. And even, I think Rick Riordan was like, I'm not a fan of the movie. He didn't even like it. And he wrote the book.
Lane, second question for you. This is the most important. I forgot my laundry last night and left it in the washer overnight. That's the first time I've done that. I would hate to do that. I got up this morning and put it in the dryer. Do you typically leave your laundry in the washer for a while? What is your rule of thumb?
No, you can't, because it's going to get all mildewy and smelly. You can leave it in the dryer for a long time, but if you leave it in the washer, you're just kind of forgetful. Set a timer.
Wow.
Now you got to take it out of the dryer right there and fold it so it doesn't wrinkle.
Otherwise, it'll wrinkle. So what I do,
you got to fold it while it's hot.
I am very good at being like, okay, I have 2 hours here, so I know that I can put stuff in the washer, wash it, put it in the dryer before I leave the house to go do whatever I'm going to do. But I come back to the house
and then restart it.
So what it is, though, here's the trick: you take the towels out, the underwear, the socks, the jeans that don't need, they're not going to wrinkle. Okay, and maybe
jeans wrinkle. The worst.
They're jeans.
They fade out after you just pop.
How often do you wash jeans? Do you wash jeans a lot? I don't wash my jeans.
I'll wash jeans after 3 or 4 wears.
Yeah, I think it's a good rule of thumb. But then also, like the shirts that are in there or the jackets that are wrinkled, I take a rag, you put it into the sink, you make it really wet, you toss it into the dryer, 30 minutes, boom, boom. Conveniently, everything is unwrinkled.
Never heard
of
that.
I mean, this is blowing my mind.
Lane's done it before. Lane, tell the folks what you do.
Well, okay, I try to do all my laundry when I have time.
Right.
So, like this morning, like you said, took it out of the washer, put it in the dryer, and went to class. And I came back, and my shirts weren't that wrinkled, but if they were, I would take a really wet towel, throw it back in the dryer for like 30 minutes, like you said, and then all the wrinkles are out.
What? Let me ask you this. This is a little bit more complicated.
Uh-oh.
Do you iron your clothes, or are you a fluffer?
No.
Fluffer, I hardly know her.
Ooh. That's great. I don't iron my clothes unless I have like a business event in which I have to look business professional, and if there's a little wrinkle, you got to get it out. But typically, no. If there's wrinkles on my t-shirts or jeans or whatever, go with the flow. No one really cares.
Steam or iron?
What?
Iron.
Iron. I agree. Yeah. You, Andrew.
Can I ask you a laundry question just for my own education? Does anyone actually separate their whites with their colors? Because I just throw it all in there.
What kind of evil monster would separate their whites from colors?
I do.
You do?
You do? See,
Lane, what do you do?
I separate them because one time I didn't separate them, and I had my Baylor club swimming shirt, and I had a red shirt in there, and the other shirt was white, and now I have a pink Baylor swimming shirt because I didn't separate it.
That's dope.
Thank you.
I feel like that's all propaganda because I just wash all my stuff together and nothing ever happens.
Not once.
It depends on how often I do the laundry. Like usually I wait a long time and I have a giant pile.
Yeah.
And so I'm going to do 3 loads, so why not separate them? But if I have a small amount of clothes, I just go ahead and wash them all together.
Yeah, like what kind of evil maniac always separates?
No
Maybe
chance.
Lane.
Yeah, like I'm not going to separate and do like 3 washes if they could all fit in one wash.
Lane, give us a Baylor club swimming update. How are you guys doing this year?
Well, we can't even practice because Baylor doesn't really have a pool. So we can't play social distance in the pool, so there is no club swimming at the moment.
What do y'all do?
Yeah, what do you do?
What have you has Baylor ever had a pool?
3 lanes, I really wouldn't consider it a pool coming from a school with 8 lanes. But usually everyone who wants to comes to a practice. And then on Fridays we do dry land, which for non-swimmers, that's basically like working out on land, dry land.
So you're telling me Baylor University has no swimming pool. I mean, the biggest one they have is like a 25-yard 3-lane, right?
Yeah, it's in the slick. I wouldn't consider it a pool. It's a glorified hot tub.
Yeah,
it's kind of a joke. It's kind of a joke.
I don't think Baylor even has a diving team, if I'm right. Do they even have a diving team?
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah.
No, they don't have an NCAA swim team either, which is why it's just club.
Gotcha.
Wow. Lane, if they did, would you swim for the Baylor NCAA swim team?
No, I'm not that good.
Wow. How does one become good at swimming?
Good question.
Good question.
You should do like 2-a-days, which is like 2 practices, and those should each be like 2 hours. And then you should also be lifting on your off hours, like not the whole time, obviously, but you should be doing cross training as well.
Wow.
And that you guys at home heard
2
it here
hours,
first.
2 hours, 2-a-days for 2 hours each. Look, I get tired after swimming for 3 minutes.
I get tired after watching swimming.
Yeah,
so.
me too.
Wow.
No chance.
So if you could compare yourself, Lane, to one professional swimmer, who would it be and why?
Oh,
Katie
probably
Ledecky.
Michael Phelps because I'm a butterflyer and he's pretty good at the butterfly.
He is.
But
He's
I'm
very
really
good.
not.
Would you
not that
say
good.
you're a butterfly from a personality standpoint or more of a swimming standpoint?
Gosh, Drake.
Oh, man.
Well, Drake, there's a stroke called butterfly.
Yeah, thank
So-
you. Thank
I
you.
know.
Educate
I
this
was
man.
saying, are you considering your personality
No,
also
it-
to be
it was a
butterfly
dumb
esque,
question.
or
It was
is
a
it
dumb
just
question.
swimming?
No, I'd say my personality is also like a butterfly. I feel like I embody some monarch characteristics.
Boom.
Monarch character.
Wow.
Name one other butterfly that's not a monarch.
I think, yeah, I can't.
No,
so
I
nice
can't
try.
either.
I don't think
Me neither.
anybody could.
No. I
think Grayson knows.
If you split your whites and Grayson's still on. If you split,
I can't name. As in Lane.
Gotcha.
I wish I could hear.
yeah, he can't
He
hear
can't
Lane.
hear.
Lane, if you were to be an insect that wasn't a butterfly, what insect would it be?
Oh my gosh. a caterpillar because then it turns into a butterfly.
Wow, but that's like being a troubled teenager, where like all you do is just disrespect your parents and hang out in the basement with your friends and watch R-rated movies. Yeah, that's what a caterpillar is until you blossom into a wonderful 20-year-old.
I'm sure that's a great analogy. I don't know if I would necessarily agree because I wasn't really a troubled teenager, but you know.
But you said you'd be a
tried.
caterpillar, so you'd be the good kind of caterpillar, not the ones that people hate.
Right. Not the fuzzy ones.
Wow. Lane, do you have any questions for us?
Yeah, what should a poll be for my Instagram tonight? Give me a poll.
Topo Chico or LaCroix?
I have some really good Insta polls.
All right, Armstrong.
But I have to look them up. I did them a long time ago. I'd have to go look back, but they were really good.
Give me Linda or Brad. That's a good one. Linda or Brad?
Linda's going to sweep that.
Oh, I don't know. There's some Brad stans out there.
Really?
Yeah.
Over Linda?
Over Linda.
What are you, crazy?
Brad stans.
There are some Brad stans.
Huh. All right.
Linda or Scott Drew? Oh, that's where it gets real.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I like the Baylor.
It's not creative.
That'll be my polls.
Well, I feel like your question has to be creative.
Like, what do you mean?
Like, what kind of cream cheese do you use on your bagel? Like, original or strawberry?
No one's going to... What?
No one else?
I don't know.
I'm trying to get creative.
Speaking of Linda, Dr. Livingstone just sent out the president's perspective. I don't know, in case you guys are culturally overlooked. Yeah, she blows those up. Lane, thanks for your call. Wait.
Thanks for
Oh, yeah, we already
answering.
asked her all the best questions. All right, we'll call back soon. Bye-bye. That was good, insightful. We learned a lot about soul.
I learned a ton, guys.
Thanks for hanging with us, Grayson.
Yeah,
I forgot Grayson's on the line.
As someone who hasn't seen Soul, like, do I watch it? I haven't really heard great things so far.
Do you see Saul? Yeah. Mose and I see Saul all the time.
No, do I see the movie Soul?
Yeah, he was making a bad Office reference.
That's not a bad Office reference. It was a good one. You haven't seen it?
Haven't seen it, but I mean,
I think
do I see it now? You guys just
I think
trashed
so.
it.
You're in the studio all day tomorrow, right?
I am in the studio.
Yeah, you need to watch Soul tonight and come back and
ask
report
yourself,
tomorrow.
Okay, I can do that.
Yeah, do that.
Okay, I will watch
Grayson
tonight.
hasn't seen Soul.
I haven't, but I have seen Inside Out, and that's a good movie.
Well,
so if it's just a spin-off, then no, I don't want to see
It's
it.
Inside Out related, but they're very different.
The most egregious thing I've heard today is Armstrong saying that Inside Out's his favorite Pixar movie.
Absolutely it is.
That's insane.
Monsters Inc.'s not a Pixar movie, is it?
It is.
It is?
It is.
Oh, then that's far and away the best Pixar movie.
Is Incredibles
very
a Pixar
good.
movie?
It is.
Well, then Incredibles is the best Pixar movie.
I would
See, we
say-
all have
Toy
different
Story
opinions.
is the best Pixar movie.
That's generational bias.
We should make a bracket.
Toy Story is very good too.
Let's make a bracket.
I think I like Cars and Finding Nemo
Ratatouille?
are better than all these y'all have mentioned.
Monsters
Ratatouille's awesome,
Inc.
too.
Yeah.
I mean, Up.
Oh,
also.
you know what? You want my hot take? Because apparently you love Monsters Inc. so much. Monsters U is better than Monsters Inc.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Monsters U sucked when I was in high school because I was like, what's going on here? I didn't really care. But when I got to college, I've watched Monsters U twice in the span of the last month and a half.
It's so good.
Because now I resonate with the actual monsters being in college. I'm like, I did that. I know where they are. Like, I can pinpoint places at Baylor and things they're doing. And yeah, I agree. I think
so good.
Monsters Inc.'s better, though.
My ears are bleeding. I mean, there's just no chance that Monsters Inc.'s a classic. Monsters U is an
That
afterthought.
doesn't mean anything.
Oh my gosh.
Monsters Inc. is the best Pixar movie.
Define
I think.
classic. I mean, like
What about best Disney? I love The Emperor's New Groove. Anybody else here?
I like The Emperor's New
Such
Groove.
a good
movie.
Such a good movie. Gronk! Armstrong?
How did we
Hey,
get here?
hang up, hang out.
I'm looking for these polls.
Emperor's New Groove.
Emperor's
New Groove. It's all right. It's not Pixar though.
It's not. It's
No.
Disney. I'm saying Disney. What's a good Disney movie then?
I just consider all the Pixar movies Disney. Is Disney not? Disney doesn't own Pixar?
No, I feel like they're different
Yeah,
things.
they are. They're vaguely different. What's that guy's name? The director on Pixar?
Lasseter.
John Lasseter.
Yeah.
Nice
Did
job.
you name him yesterday?
26 bonus points. We did not name John Lasseter, although we could have. John Lasseter's a legend.
Mm-hmm.
All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're rounding out the show with celebrity birthdays, this day in sports history, and all the other banter that we love to do on this show. Jack Wheeler says Inside Out, hands down the greatest Pixar movie ever made. Wow,
That's what I'm talking about.
Great
That's
cast. Great
impossible.
cast. I am Drake Toll. It's Armstrong Sims, Andrew Robertson. We have Grayson Greenhaven with us.
You said it right, and then you were like,
I'm still here.
Grayson's still here. Grayson's like the one kid in the pool. You're like, man, everybody's in the hot tub. And you look over, there's just Grayson, just like, hey. Okay, Grayson,
I'm
get out of the
shooting
deep end.
hoops.
He's shooting hoops. Colt's here, and then Jack McKenzie as well. We'll be right back after this break. Armstrong's Minute, a quick break, and this is Up Tempo.
It was an absolutely insane night in college basketball with major upsets occurring across the country. Starting in the top 10, number 3 Villanova was favored by double digits, but managed to fall against unranked St. John's 70-59, thanks to Posh Alexander's 16. Number 5 Houston was a 16-point favorite at East Carolina, who previously had one win in American Conference play. Playing an improbable spoiler role, the Pirates led the whole game and won handedly 82-73. Number 15 Creighton fell at home to Georgetown 86-79. 16th ranked Virginia Tech lost to Pittsburgh 83-72. And number 22 Florida lost to South Carolina 72-66 at home. Elsewhere, number 18 Missouri dropped Kentucky to 5-11 with a 75-70 win. Number 14 Virginia won at NC State 64-57. Number 10 Alabama beat LSU 78-60, and TCU upset Oklahoma State at home 81-78. On the women's side, number 3 UConn handled St. John's 94-62, and number 21 West Virginia beat Iowa State 65-56. In Baylor news, Aaliyah Miller and Casey Lightfoot of the men's and women's track and field teams have been named Big 12 Athletes of the Week. This is Lightfoot's league record 6th time to win the award. And equestrian's Madeline Calloway has been named the National Reigning Rider of the Month. I'm Armstrong Sims, and that's all the news that is news in college sports. This has been Armstrong's Minute on SicEm365 Radio's Up Tempo.
From the first workout to the last practice, sports is an incredible challenge. Hi, this is Dan Ingham with the First National Bank of Central Texas, and we're proud to support each athlete, every parent, and our educators. From families, small businesses, to the biggest industry, we're here to help. With remarkable products like First Free Checking, we've got banking ideas that fuel big dreams. The First National Bank of Central Texas. Familiar faces making local decisions.
Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Let Camille Johnson Realtors guide you seamlessly through the process of buying your dream home or selling your current one. Commercial, farm and ranch, or residential, Camille Johnson Realtors can smoothly and successfully lead you through any transaction. With a team of 28 experienced agents who are excited about serving you, Camille Johnson Realtors services the entire greater Waco area. If you're in the market to buy or sell, contact Camille Johnson Realtors, 104 Midway Center in Woodway, or find them online at www.camillejohnson.com. Camille Johnson Realtors, elegant, charming, warm. Welcome home.
Bird Culchin Ford has been in Waco since 1936. Ford, the #1 selling truck in Texas, 43 years running. And Bird Culchin Ford proudly supports high school football in Central Texas. And no better way to tailgate with a Ford than from Bird Culchin Ford. And are there better vehicles to tailgate with than the Ford F-150 or the Ford Expedition? And of course, you can get them new, pre-owned Bird Culchin Ford. Our sponsor of the Ford Tough Player of the Week, locally owned dealership. Online at bkford.com at 1701 West Loop 340 in Waco. Bird Culchin Ford.
The holidays are here, and I have a simple question for you. Will you weigh as much more or less than you do right now when the holidays are over? Why not end the year in better shape than when you started and create momentum for 2021? Waco Regional Tennis and Fitness has numerous options for stocking stuffer gifts with gift cards for gym or tennis membership, fitness merchandise, tanning, massage, tennis lessons, and personal training. Perhaps a gift for a client, a family member, or a friend. You just need to walk through the front door to change your life. Waco Regional Tennis and Fitness with personal trainers Christy London and Randall Corley. 40-plus group exercise classes, including twice-a-week boot camp. Spacious, clean workout room, free weights, Cybex cardio equipment, and no intimidation. A tremendous camaraderie and family atmosphere. So get the best and healthiest Christmas gift you can for someone or yourself. It's time to react today, not tomorrow, at Waco Regional Tennis and Fitness on Lake Shore Drive in Waco.
Learning to navigate life in the COVID-19 world has been a struggle, and where and how to get tested has been one of the biggest challenges. Impact Health Labs has your answer. If you need mass testing for your office, church, dormitory, or school, Impact Health Labs is who to call. They will come to you, conduct the testing at your location, and have the test back within 24 hours. Most major insurance accepted, meaning your out-of-pocket cost is low. So no more waiting by the phone for days to find out the results. Impact Health Labs was founded by 3 Army licensed and credentialed medical professionals professionals. They believe in accuracy, efficiency, and doing the job right. Call 254-744-6233 to set up your group screening today. Impact Health Labs, on-site, prompt, and accurate, taking COVID-19 head-on. Again, that number is 254-744-6233 or online at impacthealthlabs.com.
Welcome back to Up Tempo on SicEm365 Radio.
One month anniversary of Up Tempo today. Everybody's excited about it. I'm Drake Toll, Armstrong Sims, Andrew Robertson's in here. Oh, how things have changed in a month. If only you guys could see day one. If we could go back. I love episode 1. It's so dark and so like, hey, we're here on Up Tempo. I'm Drake Toll. It's J.D. Pickell.
We had no clue what we were doing.
It was like medium tempo. Today, this is up tempo. This is how the tempo goes, and it's upwards. That day, everything was so dark. There were like 2 things on the table. Now there are a gajillion. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I didn't have facial hair. I was so much younger. I had an okay haircut. I had a pretty good haircut.
Are we doing Movember in February? Is that what we're doing now?
Oh, Movember, baby.
No shave November in February? Are we doing that?
I'll probably shave.
It's Mustache March.
What's February?
Yeah, you can
I
kind
don't
of
know what February is, but it's
you can kind of see it.
November's no shave.
Free shave February.
And then March is mustache. I don't
Jack
know where Movember came from.
Hey, Grayson.
Hey guys, hey, I'm still
He's still there.
I'm just enjoying the show at this point.
We've got Jack Wheeler's calling. Grayson won't be able to hear that either. Hey, Jack, welcome on Up Tempo.
Yo, I want to get on this Disney movie action that we're talking about right now.
Grayson, he wants to talk about Disney movies.
Give me your take, Jack Wheeler.
I have to agree with Armstrong about Inside Out is Pixar's best film they've ever made. Absolutely, it is.
Why? Why, Jack? Just a little bit. What do you
like?
Why?
I thought the voice casting was great in it. I love the message of the story, just about really big part of everyone's life. But in order to have joy, you need to have sadness in your life in order to get joy. That it's okay to be sad at times because you'll eventually have joy in your life.
Just like it's okay to lose some nights in Monopoly betting because you'll win sometimes.
Yep.
Sure.
Yeah, Grayson, that's effectively what Jack just said to us. I know you can't hear, but that's basically what he said.
There's some juggernauts being overlooked here. You know, Toy Story.
Story.
Up. Ratatouille.
No one's saying
up there, guys.
I think Jack will agree with me. No one's saying those aren't good movies. We're just choosing the best.
Oh no, of course not. They're all great films, but I like
Toy Story
the most out of all of them.
Yeah. Jack, you want to play some bear games before you go here?
Sure, let's do it.
Number 1, what is the worst movie of all time?
Well, I texted him earlier. The Room is.
Oh yeah,
that's right.
But that's
pretty
bad
bad.
good. It's bad good is the thing. Give me like a bad movie that you struggle to
bad
watch.
Well, what I texted earlier, The Last Airbender is terrible.
Oh,
and
yeah,
it's,
I forgot.
And it's a shame how bad it was because of how great the TV show is.
TV show is really good, actually. It's like it's not anime, but it's borderline. It's like anime that everybody can get behind. The Last Airbender. Yeah, right.
Sure.
I think I'm on base with that.
Yeah.
And then, how long do you leave your clothes in the washing machine?
You mean just like when I wash them, or like after I wash?
Like after they're done. After they're done, are you like opening the door as soon as that thing goes off?
If I hear my washing machine go off saying it's done, I go as fast as I can and put them in the dryer.
Wow. What's the longest you've ever left them in the washer?
Like 40 minutes.
Longest ever?
That's insane.
I've left mine in there for probably a good week at some point.
God!
You're on top of it.
In the washer?
You just forget it, you know?
You are a what?
Just to confirm, I did live with Armstrong, and that actually is true.
Thank you, Jack. Jack just confirmed it.
Jack, thanks for your call.
You know it, buddy.
Jack, thanks for your call. He said, bye, Jack. Bye, Jack.
He's good.
Okay, bye, Jack. Grayson, Andrew, Armstrong, and Colt. I know Colt's busy, but I'm going to throw a couple of these to him on This Day in Sports History. Not yet. Alice Cooper. Grayson, how old does Alice Cooper turn today on celebrity birthdays?
Ooh. 55.
Wow. Armstrong?
Oh, man. 42.
Legendary guitarist, Alice Cooper.
Oh, I
Bet
didn't
you
know
didn't
that.
know it was a male. You were going to say it's a female. Andrew?
I was.
I'm going to go with 48.
73, Alice
wow.
Cooper,
Wow.
rock star, classic
Grayson.
rock star.
Yeah.
Grayson, legendary, Lawrence Taylor.
That's a good one. 68.
68.
Yeah, I think he's a little younger. I'm gonna go 59. No, 62.
Ah, Bingo Bango, 62.
nailed
Nice job,
Wait,
Armstrong.
what'd you have?
I was going to get 62.
Oh, I'm
Wow. Clint Black turns how old today, Grayson?
71.
Oh, good guess. He looks 71.
Clint Black.
Yeah, Clint Black. Girl, you told me. Nope, that's Dwight Yoakam.
55.
Okay, 50. You know Clint
Wow.
Black?
I'm going to go with 81.
I know Clint Black.
Yeah, Clint Black is
Kind of.
is this killing time?
Ah, yeah.
Is killing
Such a good song.
me. Anybody want to change their answer?
Drink myself.
He's a little younger,
blind.
Yeah, he's 59.
Wow, yeah.
He's 59. Okay.
Yeah.
Hand up. I didn't know who that was. Hand up.
We have. I don't know. I could ask you guys these. I don't think you'd know them.
if we don't know who they are.
Just do like a fire round. Just fire out some names.
How about fire out some names? Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden. How old today?
Well, yeah, right. 35.
35.
49.
44.
51.
Bang.
Rosa Parks would have been how old today?
Bro,
we were all alive at the same time as Rosa Parks. It's kind of a weird thought.
That is a weird thought. I'm going to say
112.
112.
No. I'm going to say it would be 100.
96.
108. Happy 108th birthday to Rosa Parks today. Post more of the Parks family, you guys. Keep on. Zaire Wade, son of Dwayne Wade.
16.
16.
17.
17.
14.
It was only going to count if you said 18. He is 19 years old today. 19 years old for Zaire Wade.
We got some this day in sports history.
We do. Why, are you done with celebrity birthdays?
No, I'm looking at the time. I'm looking at the time.
Okay. Yeah, that's Oscar De La Hoya. Hurry. Lightning round. Colt. Not Colt.
58.
58.
72.
68.
48. And
Yeah.
Hannibal Buress. Hannibal Buress?
Hannibal Buress.
Yeah.
Oh, I know him.
It's 40.
45.
43?
He's 38.
Thanks.
Close. This day in sports history, my man, John Madden was hired to the Oakland Raiders. In what year, Armstrong?
90.
1990. That's an awful guess.
I don't know. I have no clue.
Yeah, I'm going to say like 79.
75.
75, 79. Colt, what'd you say? 71. We have a 69. 1969 is the year John Madden was hired as the head coach of the Oakland Raiders. How about Super Bowl XLI, which would be, it's 41?
Yeah, 41.
41. Dolphin Stadium, Miami Gardens, Indianapolis Colts beat the Chicago Bears in what year, Grayson?
2006 season, but it was technically took place in 07.
Right on the money. 2007
Wow.
Super Bowl. Well done, Grayson.
I'm a Colts fan, guys.
Wow. This year, Pete Rose was voted out of baseball. Baseball's Hall of Fame Board of Directors voted 12-0 to bar Pete Rose from the Hall of Fame due to betting on games while a player and manager. In what year?
2002. I don't know.
I feel like it has to be kind of recent. I'm going to say like 2006.
6.
2008.
1991. Pete Rose was barred from the Hall of Fame. And then Super Bowl LII 52.
Oh, yeah.
Philadelphia Eagles and the New England Patriots. What year?
Was that 52 or 53?
52.
2015.
15? Armstrong?
2017.
18.
2018, Armstrong. Andrew Robertson, back to you in 2018.
So bad.
All right, I am Drake Toll, Armstrong Sims,
So bad.
Andrew Robertson, Colt Barber, Jack McKenzie, Grayson Grundhay joining us right now as well for today's show. Guys, it's the 1 month anniversary. Thanks for sticking with us on Uptempo. This is probably the weirdest episode that we've had, and I love it. Come on back tomorrow for a Friday version of Uptempo. We'll keep on keeping on. You guys have a great rest of your day. This has been Uptempo.